Welcome and greetings, clobberers and clobberanimals. Here we are. The Clubhouse is in session.
It's official with the Wii.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, indeed-ishness. Hello, my good friends. So glad to be here with you tonight. This is my favorite part of the week. I mean, I love Saturday Night Star Trek just as much, of course, but I love this one because it's a little easier. It's just like sitting back. You don't have a lot of this. There's no like a structure to it. I'm no
reviews to read.
I'm a no structure kind of guy, Just always. Oops.
He likes to wing it.
Yeah, I'm not an organized person. Never have been, never will be. But tonight it's just one of those. Just sit back and insult Mark when he's not looking.
Your organizer, please.
Yes, your organizer, please.
Mark.
Oh, my goodness. But anyway, I want to say hello, of course, to my wonderful first officer who is back with us, the greatest first officer in the fleet, the most wonderful, lovely, amazing, fantastic partner a guy could ever have, R.M. Briggs.
I love you.
Love you.
In real life,
Glad you're here.
You're one of my best friends in the whole world. One of the best friends I've ever had in my entire life. I absolutely adore you. I love your mind. I love your personality. I just love everything about you. And holy Kawasaki, did I ever miss you. So Clubhousers, let's do it.
Yes, indeedishness. And we have the greatest.
Clobberin Times is blushing orange right now.
Absolutely. And we have the most.
I think he knows I mean it. Like I think a couple of years ago he was
but
like, "What's this lady going on about?" But now he's like, "No, she actually does love me. I can live with it."
It's just that I can't accept anybody loving me because I hate myself so much. I'm like Rimmer.
Exactly. That's why he doesn't say anything.
I'm like Rimmer from Red Dwarf. It's just no one should ever like me ever. Except he's so dumb. He thinks people should. I'm just like I'm a self-aware Rimmer, which is a weird thing if you know Red Dwarf. But also we have the most adequate first officer in the. I mean, I'm not first officer. See, I can't even say that. I can't even insult Mark right.
You're flustered.
Engineer.
God, Chief Engineer.
Well, actually, he's the greatest chief engineer of all time.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, dude.
Great to be here.
Engineers, they love to change things.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I couldn't get my Bluetooth headphones to work last night. I didn't change anything. It was just the Google Drive has changed everything to shortcuts. I had to spend like hours today downloading everything from Google. Curses Google for what you did to Google Drive because I had all my show stuff. I had all my show stuff up on there. I said, let me put it on Google Drive so it's in the cloud. And then when you're trying to work in Premiere and it's just, but if you read about it, they've wrecked Google Drive. They decided to change things and make folders into shortcuts. I don't know why. Don't tell me. And it's wrecking everything. It's like curses Google.
No.
It's like Dr. Doom took over Google and decided to wreck with Reed Richards' file structure. It's just been
Oh no.
just been a mess. Yeah,
Mazer says Goo Drive.
Google Drive. Yep,
Goo
yep.
Drive.
Oh,
Also, peeps, show notes before the boss starts talking. There are new and wonderful surprises waiting for members to use in the emoji section. So we actually have moving emojis. And I have a whole bunch of them. We need to have 13 more members before I can roll them all out, but they're all custom. No one else has these. I made them just for Clobby.
Awesome.
So we've got that. And guess what else we've got?
What?
Rover.
Nice. Oh,
and not an Irish rover. Well, perhaps it is an Irish rover.
Prisoner
because,
rover.
But anyways, lots of fun stuff. So if you're a member, please go ahead and use all those new emojis. Have a great time with them. We have more animated emojis coming as we are given more permission to use more space. But we require 13 more members. And you know what? If you're not a member yet, come on. What's your problem? Get on it. And those are my show notes, boss.
Okay. Anyone can do show notes. Do you have show notes, Mark, or no?
No show notes other than I am a member, but Google again screwed up my membership, so it's on my personal account. Yeah, instead of my YouTube channel. Likely story. Yeah. Cheapskate over here. Yeah. So trying to get that fixed too.
By the way, one other show. Well, I got a bunch of show notes actually, a few anyway. There will be a members stream in a couple of weeks, toward the end of the first cycle, I guess, somewhere around, I'll figure it out. It'll be soon, but I'll let the word out. So, and I'll say hello. We'll say our hellos in a minute. There's a couple quick tidbits. Again, big thanks to the great Mark D with a C for this show. We had so much fun doing this review.
That was a gooder.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
So
that was a gooder. And reviewing Fantastic Four number 51. Loved it. So that was great stuff. And
those are awesome.
And then Mark did pop in with me a little bit last night as well. So thank you all for being here for my nothing of a show last night about Kirby Splendor and Kirby visual effects and stuff.
That sounds fun.
I enjoyed doing it, even though I was woefully unprepared. But I hope it wasn't too bad for everybody.
Well, you had a lot of good stuff on that show.
I showed a lot of good stuff. I mean, you can't cover any Kirby subject in a couple of hours. It's not possible. His work is too vast and too dense. I mean, it's just not possible. But we gave it a shot. We showed a few things here and there. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here for those. And let's see here. We'll see tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll be over at Nick's or not for the comic shop, but he will be having the Nick's comic shop on Friday night. So if you like geeking out about comics, our good buddy 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. He is a wonderful friend of ours. We love him very much. And I try to be over there when I can. So please go over there tomorrow night at 8:45 Central. Something I think is usually when he does it. He's of course not only a member of this show of this channel, but one of our dearest friends on YouTube. So please go see our buddy Nick.
Yep.
Nick is the man. We love that kid.
We do love Nick. And Pleasant Valley Picker, the answer to your question is yes, I watched that show.
Oh my. Oh, I'll find out what show that is in a minute. And then Saturday night Star Trek, same Trek time, same Clobby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Starting up Deep Space Nine Season 2.
Clobby!
Yay, looking forward to that. Definitely going to be a great rollicking time on the Sat Treaty night, as it always is. And then Sunday, a big special edition of Clobber Times, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. The wonderful Purple Valkyrie will join me because that is Jack Kirby's official birthday. He would have been 105 years old, so I'm calling it Kirby 105. I'm going to chill back, sit back a little bit, and I'm going to talk about some of his greatest creations, his characters, concepts, ideas. Just a big celebration of the man's wonderful creative genius. Because I love Jack, and I used to, no matter what day it was, I would always do a stream on his birthday before it came to YouTube, continuing that tradition here. And last You had a great time showing all the Kirby 104 Kirby covers with Purple as my guest on a Saturday, but this time it falls on a Sunday night or Sunday. So doing it that afternoon, 4 p.m. Central.
I remember that show. That was a year ago. Wow. God.
Yes, sir. It will
Lady
be
PV,
a
Lady
year
PV
ago.
in the house.
Is she here now?
No, but she will be.
Oh, okay. So that's what we got going on. Of course, Monday night will be also a Kirby topic. I just don't know exactly what yet, but it will be one. I can tell you that much. So, all right, let me back the chat all the way up here so we can start saying some hellos to our wonderful friends in the Clubhouse, because we love having you here, my friends. A big shout out once again to the great Mexican Iron Man for being the latest member.
Yay.
And joining up. We love Mike. He's a great friend of this channel and a lot of channels. He's a legend on YouTube. We love the great Mexican Iron Man. Hello there, Pleasant Valley Picker, who said to be back in a little 15 minutes.
Hello.
J-Man Buddy.
Yay!
What is up? Enjoyed that show you guys were doing earlier. You and Sean, of course, always do great shows. Please, of course, if you have not yet, and if a wrench could do that for me, please put J-Man's great channel in the chat. You guys, if you're a comics fan at all, or others, hell, if you're a wrestling fan, which I know nothing about, but if you are one of those, he does a show about that. And he does great shows about geekness and pop culture, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good show tonight. I was lurking. I couldn't engage in the chat. I had some projects to finish, but yeah, Jamin's and Sean, great.
Yeah,
except for Sean, great stuff. Great channel.
They're two of the sweetest people, and they're both so intelligent and so kind, and they're such great conversationalists. I'm not into wrestling or any of that other stuff. I still stop in just because the banter is so great. Just such great friendship, such great conversation. I love Jay and I love Sean, and everyone should tune into them. Everyone should sub to them.
Jay and Sean are awesome guys, and they do a great show. Shout out to you, Decepticon. I saw you here as well. Good to see you, buddy. And yes, I did stop by a little bit tonight and harass them. I like to stop and harass them a little bit when they do that. They're great. I envy you guys doing that Thursday night comic show. That looks like that's a lot of fun, man. I might go back in time and steal your idea, and then do it, and then claim you stole it from me, because that's a good thing. I'm that evil. Anyway, you guys, appreciate you. The great Chris Persia.
Chris!
Who's here? What's up, buddy? Master of the Canadian wrench.
Beautiful ads for the show tonight, and I love you and thank you.
Stellar stuff. Absolutely isn't. Gwagnar. Good to see you, Gwag. Matthew Pounder. What is up, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Find some outsider was a man, and he still is, as far as I know. He was a big man. What's up, Fanty? Let's see here. The master of all that is bronze wrenching, the bronze wrencher himself, Eric K.
Hey, baby, how's it going? He's having a hamburger right now, and I am so jelly. I was a good girl today, and I had a chicken Caesar salad for supper, and now I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah,
so you're very naughty, Eric K, and I love you.
It's a lot, Eric.
I'm trying to eat a healthy apricot right now. It's like, come on, don't mention cheeseburgers. God,
oh,
that's right.
Dear. Yeah.
Well, he did make it comic though, because the first thing he said is, I think he said something about Wimpy. I forget. He's like, Wimpy. You guys remember?
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a loan for a hamburger today.
Mm-hmm.
Hungry for Ben Grimm to catch and break the great hungry boy. What's up, buddy?
Yay! The official artist.
Yes.
Of Clobberin Times and the official artist of my new science fiction collection. Dun 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 dun.
An all around extraordinary artist and comics professional.
And while we're talking about Hungry Boy, everyone should know that Hungry Boy has donated some art. I did some graphic arts work thereafter to make sure it was copyright compliant and just, put it all together. And we went to Spring Tea, I think it's called. And we launched.
Teespring,
Is it Teespring?
I think it's Teespring.
Yeah, so we launched. Hungry Boy and I put our art and our hearts and our heads together, and we came up with some merchandise. You all had asked for some merchandise, so you should know that Hungry Boy and I donated our time and we donated our art. So everything that you would buy there is at cost. That we're not making any money off of it. We just wanted to do it for you. So and the crazy thing is despite all the artwork that he has going right now and all of the balls he's juggling in the air right now, he made something new for us. So that's coming down the pipe. So some really exciting stuff. And I cannot wait to show it to all of you.
Indeedishness. Good to see. Thank you for being here, Hunger Boy. Always good to see you, buddy. Brian Hepburn.
Hey,
Hello,
Brian.
hello. Hang on. Andy Masterson. What is up, my brother?
Andy!
Hey, Andy.
What is up? The great Andy Masterson. Hey, bro.
Yes.
Great to see you, my friend.
You had
A
an
wonderful
amazing tweet
maker.
today. Yeah, of all the
talented maker. Oh, so good.
You see his tweet with the crew of, you had Gary and Gang and Geeks and Gamers and Ripa.
He went to the.
But he had an amazing of action figures that he made. It was just incredible.
Oh no, really? Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it was an incredible.
I'd love to see that later.
I'll have to.
Nice.
I'll dig it out.
I did not see that.
I'm sure Andy won't mind if we show that.
Oh,
so,
cool.
He's very talented and also he's a very sweet person. Andy's a nice person.
Hey, he'll impress me when he makes a Paste Pot Pete toy. Andrew, let's see you make that, buddy. I know he could.
He's like challenge accepted.
Challenge. No,
Paste Pot Pete.
No, don't do it. I take it back. Please don't do it.
He's fearless, and he, like in real life, he's huge, like Steve Mitchum. Like Steve Mitchum is Thor in Vegas. I don't know what we're gonna do with Andy Masterson, but when he's hitting the gym, and that dude's getting big.
I'm gonna see Steve this weekend. Steve's coming down here this weekend, so I'm
going
to see him and Maddie.
Around. That's awesome, man.
Get to hang out with him and he and Maddie. I guess Saturday. I think.
Oh,
I've seen him in a few years. All right, let's see here. Let's get this on the road here. Canadian Spidey does what a Canadian Spider-Man can. What's up, Kimasabi? It's been dog's age. Been a while there, buddy. Mazerus. Hello, Mazerus.
Maze.
Welcome, Mazerus. Good to see you. What? Yep. Mazer is quoting McCoy from the motion picture. Why isn't the object we don't understand always called a thing? Because he's the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. That's why.
Maze is on fire tonight. He's got lots of good one-liners tonight.
Damn thing jumped on me. Hang on a second. Bop. Crap. I hope I didn't miss anybody because this freaking thing jumped on me. Hey. All right. Shite. Okay, almost there, folks. We'd like to do our Linrod. Hello there. Good to see you.
Hey, Linrod.
We'd like to shout everyone out at the beginning of the show, at least. All right.
Hey, Pleasant Valley Picker, BC. Around here, we don't judge people by how they look. We're just here at the Clubhouse. Everybody is an equal, and don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, something happened.
No,
no. He just said, Raquel, I'm big, but not in a gym way, sadly.
Hey, dude. I guarantee you, compared to me, you're a slender fellow, and that's no brag because I'm not happy about it, but I can prove it, and I'll prove it to you one day if you want. But I wouldn't. Why do you think I'm not on camera, dude?
The orange rocks are very heavy.
I don't look like no Andy Masterson. I can't be on camera. Kal-El, buddy, what's up, bro?
Hey, the real soup.
Yeah, buddy, the real super.
Stephen M. Hi, sweetheart.
And Dave G. Sound. Hello there.
Dave G. Sound.
Classic Comics. Hello again. Good to see you, buddy. Enjoyed being on that show the other night on Loki's channel with you. And appreciate you popping in last night. He's a new friend. And thank you for stopping by. It's great to see you tonight. JT Kirk is here. All right.
Hey! JT!
Hey, JT Kirk.
I have my chat way back, everyone, but I'm almost getting it updated and up to the speed here. I don't want to miss anybody. This chat will really jump on you here in this. Okay, I hope I didn't miss anyone, everyone, but this chat gets wonky here on the StreamYards crap. But well, there we go. So Clubhouse time, folks. It's Clubhouse.
Yeah.
It's Clobberin time.
Let's clobber.
What did we
Let's
not
clobber.
plan for tonight?
Oh,
I don't know.
I have
We
something
have a few
planned.
things. Yeah, we have a few things.
I
Hungry
got some
Boy.
new comics I got in the mail I
Okay,
can
yeah,
show.
we'll get to all that stuff. We'll let ladies go first, of course.
Oh,
But
of
I just want to
course,
say that I've got some tripwire for you, Hungry Boy. I hope you didn't see it yet.
Oh no,
I know
the
Hungry
horror.
Boy. Hungry Boy's
It's not
like,
bad, but it's not. Well, it's not good. It's not the worst thing ever. It's not a bad. It's
oh,
not going to
really?
torture you too much. It's not.
Oh.
It won't be torturous. It'll be. I'll have some things to say about it. I have some things to say about every one of theirs, as you know. But yeah, sorry to inform you, Hungry Boy. We'll do some tripping, but we'll be tripping wire, but it won't be that bad. And I've got a few other things, but our one oh bloody joy, it's not that bad, man. I
I knew
promise
that
you,
was
it's
going to
not,
be his reaction.
not that bad, buddy. But our wonderful first officer Raquel has something for us tonight, and none of us know what it is, so it'll be a surprise. We'll go for it. I yield the helm. Take the con, number one, and take us out.
Well, thanks, boss. Yeah, actually, I just you know, many of you realize that I've made these assertions about how you have to be careful about listening to the factoids that have been produced by people involved with Star Trek. And sometimes they're not doing it on purpose. Sometimes the memory fails, or they see something from their perspective, and perhaps it's not accurate. And so I'm always cautioning you to be careful about what you believe when you hear people from Star Trek tell you things, stories, factoids. Well, I have a bone to pick with Roddenberry Entertainment this week.
Monsters. By the way, Masters Maniac Mexico popped in. Hello, Eminem. Wow, this is bad. This is terrible.
Yeah, it is bad. So Roddenberry Official is the Instagram account for Roddenberry Entertainment. And of course, Gene Roddenberry's son is often posting out of there. They do promotions. And today I opened up my Instagram and I saw this and I was like, what? Time is the fire in which we burn. And he
Idiot.
and he
Oh,
attributes
that's a
it.
profound. Wait, stop. That's a profound statement. I've got to just meditate on that for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Got it? You'll be okay?
Got it. I'll be okay. Yep.
Okay, I love you. I love it. I love that you just did that. I love you.
Just kick
So Rod Roddenberry or Roddenberry Entertainment or whomever obviously has taken this from Generations. Okay, and we know that McDowell says this, but
Right.
Gene Roddenberry didn't write Generations, right?
No, exactly.
Ronald
right.
D. Moore wrote
There's
Generations.
Jill, by the way. Hey, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
Yeah.
And Brannon Braga wrote Generations. So they're the
Right.
two people who wrote that. So it doesn't have anything to do with Gene Roddenberry. So the thing is that this isn't a random fan site. This is like this Armin Shimerman asserting that he was the first Ferengi. That was last week. And now this week we have this. So here we have this Roddenberry Entertainment. So the actual corporation making the claim that time is the fire in which we burn, and attributing it to Gene Roddenberry and turning it into a meme. So this peeved me off because, of course, Gene would not have done that. Gene had to share his work, and he took a lot of production credit, and he spoke about this, and so did his beautiful wife, about how he should have taken more authorial credit. But when you're in these teams and you're working, and if you have ever worked on a team, you know what it's like. It's like 4 people do nothing, 1 person does everything, and then the people who did nothing take all the credit. So this is the situation. And he did have regrets at the end of his life, saying he took production credit when he should have taken authorial credit. Anyways, so this is not something Gene Roddenberry would do. And so I'm upset about it. So I'm here to set the record straight. So Gene Roddenberry did not write "Time is a Fire in Which We Burn," and neither did Ronald D. Moore or Brannon Braga. It was actually written by a man called Delmore Schwartz, and the poem is called "Calmly We Walk Through This April Day." And this is from a selected poem series. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about this person, and give this person the proper credit that they deserve, because it's not Gene Roddenberry. Armin Shimmerman or Shimerman, I know it's anglicized, wasn't the first Ferengi, and Time is the Fire in Which We Burn was not from Star Trek. So let's start telling some truth here. All right, so first I want to just read from a little bit from Wikipedia so you can get to know Delmore Schwartz. Delmore Schwartz was born on December 8th, 1913, and he died on July 11th, 1966. He was an American poet, so he wrote poems, and he was a short story writer. So just short stories and poems. So very, very important. You know, short story writing is a difficult form to fit something magical in, and he loved it. He was dedicated to that, and you all know how much I love the short story form. So Schwartz was born in 1913 in Brooklyn, New York, where he grew up. His parents, Harry and Rose, both Romanian Jews, separated when Schwartz was 9, and their divorce had a profound effect on him. He had a younger brother, Kenneth. In 1930, Schwartz's father suddenly died at the age of 49. Though Harry had accumulated a good deal of wealth through his dealings in a real estate business, Delmore inherited only a small amount of money, and as a result of the shady dealings of an executor of Harry's estate, according to Schwartz's biographer James Atlas, Delmore continued to hope that he would eventually receive his legacy, even as late as 1946. Schwartz spent time at Columbia University and at the University of Wisconsin. He graduated with a BA from New York University in 1935. He did some graduate work. So he just did some graduate work at Harvard University, where he studied with the philosopher Alfred North Whitehead, but he left and returned to New York without receiving any degree. So he didn't complete his master's degree. In 1937, sorry?
I just want to thank Cardinal Sin for the
Oh, go
999 super sticker. Sorry, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I wanted to submit before, because he probably in and out sometimes. I don't know if he was going to still be here. So thank you, Cardinal Sin, for the super sticker. Appreciate you, buddy. And hello there, Bush McFadden. Please continue. Sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
Yeah. In 1937, he married Gertrude Buckman, a book reviewer for Partisan Review, and he divorced her 6 years later. So that's who he is. Now, I'd like to read to you just a little bit from the opening of his book. So the book that you're seeing in front of you right now, this is some of the material from that, and it's quite sad. When this book was first published as Summer Knowledge in 1959, that's an error. Delmore Schwartz was still riding a crest, the golden boy on the literary scene, a position that he had commanded ever since the appearance of his first collection of stories and poems in 1938. Summer Knowledge won him both the prestigious Bollinger Prize in Poetry and the Poetry Society of America's Shelley Memorial Fund. So Mary Shelley, right? Ironically, indeed tragically, the praise and prizes Schwartz received did not forestall his decline. And this, his poetic testament, proved to be the final one as well. Overcome by mental illness, alienated from friends and supporters, he disappeared from the literary scene. In the end, to die in 1966 in an obscure Broadway hotel. This tragedy, the tragedy of his life, pales before the triumph of his art and craft. Selected poems clearly places him among the foremost poets of his generation. So he didn't earn his master's, but he was teaching in university. That was the case back then. Back then, if you had your master's, you were a full professor. That was more likely than going on to the PhD, because the PhD signals that the person is going to be doing research their whole life. Whereas if they stopped at the master's, a master is the professor. So I thought you would be interested in that. And I wanted you to hear the poem. If you'd like to hear the poem, I will read it very quickly. I have not pre-read this poem. I just know of its existence, so I'm not aware of its meter or its rhyme schedule, but I will get through it quickly. Calmly we walk through this April's day. Calmly we walk through this April's day. Metropolitan poetry here and there. In the park sits a pauper and a rentier, the screaming children, the motor car, fugitive about us, running away. Between the worker and the millionaire, number provides all distances. It is 1937 now. Many great dears are taken away. What will become of you and me? This is the school in which we learn. Besides the photo and the memory, that time is the fire in which we burn. This is the school in which we learn. What is the self amid this blaze? What am I now that I was then? Which I shall suffer to act again. The theodicy, theodicy is the vindication of divine goodness and providence in the view of the existence of evil. So God allows evil to exist. If you don't know what theodicy is, I'll read that again. The theodicy I wrote in my high school days restored all life from infancy. The children shouting are bright as they run. This is the school in which they learn, ravaged entirely in their passing play, that time is the fire in which they burn. Avid, it's rushed, that reeling blaze. Where is my father and Eleanor? Not where they are now, dead 7 years. But what were they then? No more? No more? From 1914 to the present day, Bert, Spira, and Rhoda consume. Not where they are now. Where are they now? But what they are then, both beautiful. Each minute bursts in the burning room. The great globe reels in a solar fire, spinning the trivial and unique away. How all things flash, how all things flare. What am I now that I was then? May memory restore again and again the smallest color of the smallest day. Time is the school in which we learn. Time is the fire in which we burn. And so this is written by the wonderful Delmore Schwartz, who was a wonderful intellectual. He was a poet and a short story writer. So I would like to openly and publicly admonish the people at Roddenberry Entertainment, the corporation Roddenberry Entertainment, and Roddenberry Official for misleading the public in making them think that Time is the Fire in Which We Burn was written by Gene Roddenberry. Wasn't written by Gene Roddenberry, wasn't written by Ronald D. Moore, and it wasn't written by Brannon Braga. This is your time for your professor, your English professor, to tell you that it's very nice to use in-text citation. People think that if they misrepresent things, if they plagiarize just a little bit, people will think that they're smart. No, people think you're dumb, and you will always be caught. This is what you need to remember. Always use in-text citation. Always speak to these beautiful poets, philosophers, and all these wonderful, intelligent people that you've read, because that's what truly makes you look intelligent. Gene Roddenberry loved Spinoza. Because he loves Spinoza, he has Gary say it. He has Gary say it. And because of that, I read Spinoza when I was a kid. When I got older, obviously, kids don't read Spinoza, but this was Gene's way of doing things, drawing you nearer to the flame of knowledge, to great philosophy, to great books, to great literary works. And he would not stand for this kind of horse hockey. I encourage you to read Delmore Schwartz and to respect him the way that you would Edgar Allan Poe. He was another tortured artist who lost his life due to the displeasure and poverty associated with the craft. Short story writer, poet, just like our beautiful Edgar Allan Poe. He's a wonderful person. And please do not allow this incident to besmirch the reputation of Gene Roddenberry. Gene Roddenberry made no assertion that he said this. Gene Roddenberry was an intellectual and a futurist who would have pushed you towards these beautiful philosophers who he admired so very much. And that's all I have to say. And that is my presentation for you tonight, folks.
Well, thank you for that.
I was just going to tell you something on that real quick. You would be at least happy to know that where this was posted on Instagram, people in the comments are roasting the dumbasses for it, and all giving the proper credit to the author of it. And
that's great.
And more than a few people are talking about Delmore Schwartz, and saying this is ridiculous. Some people are making fun of them for putting it up there.
Good.
And a couple, so it's only like about 26 or so comments. This was on Instagram. I don't know if this is on Twitter.
Here's the link. Yeah, I just put the link.
Is there a Twitter one?
No, for Instagram. I just put it in.
Because that thing that happened with Armin Shimmerman or Shimerman, I know he anglicizes his name. I sort of felt like a jerk when I said, I'm sorry, but you're not the first Ferengi. And I think it makes people feel uncomfortable when I call them out on their BS. But I think it's very important to just tell the truth. If you tell the truth, people will respect you. They will admire you greatly. They will think you're absolutely wonderful. They'll think you're intelligent, and they'll find you very trustworthy. There's no point in lying or exaggerating. There's no point. And you will be caught. And so then not only do you lose your reputation, but what you have done, there's no point to it. Anyway, sorry.
Hey Zakarat, just to give you a few of them. One person, for example, says, "Did Gene ever say that? In Star Trek, it was said in Generations, but that was years after Gene's death. Either way, Generations was quoting a poem by Delmore Schwartz from 1959.
That's beautiful.
Another one
makes me happy.
A couple people said, "Calmly, we walked through this April's day. Really weird to attribute it to Gene. Very misleading at best."
Yes.
This whole, and someone who didn't know, being honest, just said, "This whole time, I just thought it was an incredible line from the writers, but now it doesn't surprise me. They lifted it because the rest of the dialogue was not nearly as poetic and beautiful." He's thanking the person who wrote that. And a lot of people, some people are poking fun at him, making jokes like, "Don't believe all the things attributed to me on the internet, Mark Twain."
Yeah.
The people at Star Trek have to stop doing this stuff. Just tell the truth, like the exaggerations, the half truths, the things that go on with everyone involved with it. There always seems to be this sort of scandalized conversation where people have to say, "Well, no, that's not true," or "No, you didn't write that," or "No, you didn't say that," or "No, you weren't the first at that." I mean, it's truly awful, and they continue to be caught out by intellectuals, by academics, and just by really savvy Trekkies. There's no point in this. There is no point in this. And the thing that I find the most upsetting is, because this is coming from Roddenberry Entertainment, the corporation, and Roddenberry Official, and of course this is his son, and so on and so forth, I don't want anyone to think that Gene would stamp this. Gene would never stamp this. No. Gene will point you towards philosophers and geniuses and beautiful literary heroes. He would never try to take credit for somebody else's work. That wasn't his style. No, his style was edification. So,
Denise Warren, welcome. No, they did it all the time on Star Trek. They would quote someone and they would give you the source.
Mm-hmm. Did they give any credit in the credits of the movie?
Oh hell no! I didn't look, but I'm gonna go.
I don't remember, but
I'm gonna go way out on a limb and say, nah.
I'm guessing not.
Because it's not like Dr. Tolian Soren said. I believe one of your human Earth poets said,
Yeah, I just found the quote in the transcript.
So funny, because what Clobby just said is exactly how Gene Roddenberry would have done it. Gene Roddenberry would have said something like, would have had Soren say something like, "I vaguely remember one of your human poets saying, 'Time is the fire in which we burn.'"
I mean,
yeah,
that's always been a thing with me anyway. When I say something that I think is witty or something and I got it from somewhere else, I want, if I can't cite where it comes from, I'm a little agitated by it, but I'll at least say, well, I heard someone say somewhere, I can't remember who it was, they said, and I'll give the quote or whatever. or at least, you know, at least a paraphrase or whatever. But I wanted to be clear that it wasn't mine. I didn't come up with it. So and so said it because I'm not Stan Lee. But sorry, we'll go there. But anyway,
and then Robert and Renee, they burned in a fire too. So in the context of generations, that was there's the quote, and that was something that I thought the quote was Soren being a jerk, saying, referencing a fire, and then a few scenes later, Picard mentions it.
Comics. You haven't read Schwartz until you read them in the original Klingon.
Good, that's a gooder. Yeah.
Don't make me do the ugly, loud laugh. Classic comics.
That discussion actually in your synopsis, Raquel, is much better than having to sit through generations again. So
yes.
Well, I'm happy to provide that. It's just like I said, I say this to my students too. Whenever I'm, trying to teach my students about rhetoric, about essay writing in university, and about research, including graduate students who I coach. There is nothing wrong with using in-text citation. And as a matter of fact, you should use as much in-text citation as possible because it shows how well read you are. It shows that you have, imbibed these beautiful texts. And now here you are quoting them. And so that speaks far more to your integrity and your intelligence than trying to pretend you wrote something you didn't write. And I think the bad thing about this, Mark, that I don't really like, Clobby, is that I think that what's going to happen on the other end of this is because this is Roddenberry Entertainment, they're going to try and say that Gene is somehow said this or that this is Gene's fault and sully his reputation. And he was exactly opposite to what is being done here. So as a Trekkie, you need to make sure that you realize that Gene has done nothing wrong here, and Gene made no assertions that he said this. This is absolute, complete balderdash. It is nincompoopery. It is horse hockey. Big, dried plops of horse poop.
Yeah, you wonder if even Rod is. I wonder who does their social media and all their stuff. You wonder if it's not to excuse, Rod is in charge, I guess, but. Someone should be able to check that pretty easy. It only takes about 30 seconds and internet search to figure that one out, even if you've never I've never heard of that poet until tonight, to be honest. So
well, I'm glad. Did
you
enjoy the poem? Isn't
it was interesting. Poem? Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I was making joking in the beginning because it's the social media stuff have this profound try to have this profound quote like it's going to make you think and it's Roddenberry all this stuff that they put on like we're so far above everyone else, this ostentatious kind of quoting, and it just drives me nuts to see some of the stuff that they put out there. But yeah, that's people should get credit for their work, and Star Trek, if they did use that line, they should have put something in the credits, that line's from that poem. Normally when Shakespeare gets quoted all the time and but it's they always reference Shakespeare, and of course it's Shakespeare when you hear it with the different English, and of course it says as everyone is saying, it's better in the original Klingon. But it's just really a shame to have something so easy to check and confirm, and it's also from generations which he didn't have much to do with, right? So it's
nothing really,
right? So I mean,
nothing really to do with it. And that was lucky him.
Yeah.
So, but it's a damn shame. Jay, man, good night, buddy.
Good night, Jay. Yeah, so just listen, everyone. If you're a 735er, I know that's a weird little phrase of mine or whatever. The 735 Club is something I came up with. It's just all the iterations of the true Star Trek for the true Trekkie. But if you're a 735er and you consider yourself in my little stupid club, I want you to, tuck this into your pocket, because you're going to need this later. And we all know you're going to, because somebody somewhere is going to come out and say something totally cruel about Gene Roddenberry, say that, you know, that he plagiarized or some crap like this. Meanwhile, this all happened when he had already passed away, and he never said any of this stuff. He didn't even write this movie, and his character is opposite to this. So tuck this in your pockets, please, because if you see people out on social media saying Gene Roddenberry didn't say that, that guy's such a piece of crap, I want you to feel free to point them towards these scholarly resources and you know, maintain or cleanse the reputation of somebody who we really love a lot. Gene Roddenberry gets blamed for a lot of stupid crap that's not true. So this is another one of those times where, yeah, you guys, listen, just, I know someone's going to do this. So be prepared as a 735er to say, no, I'm sorry, but you're full of poo-poo. Big, stinking, yucky, maggot-filled poo-poo. That's not what the truth is. Here's the truth.
You had to throw in the maggots.
Yeah. You know, fetid maggots. But anyway, so you have the facts now, and these are the facts. And so don't be afraid to say what you know, because pushing those facts out there instead of the factoids and the weird egomaniacal crazy stuff from the memoirs that people write. You know, I often say to folks, believe what you want, but I believe Gene Roddenberry and I believe Nichelle Nichols, and I don't believe anyone else. The end. Even I love Leonard Nimoy, but there was a time when he wasn't Spock, and then all of a sudden he was Spock again. You get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying?
And I am Spock.
So that completes my presentation for this evening. Thank you for giving me the floor. Thank you for spending time with me. I love you all.
That was excellent. Yeah, Nimoy said, "What, that much money? Hell yeah, I'm Spock." Kiwi Chow, well, roll tide there. You know,
hey,
I'm going to say one more thing about that. Well, I get this impression whoever runs that stupid Instagram account for them, for some strange reason, they were just sitting there watching Generations. I don't know why, and that sounded, which is profound. Oh wow! I'll put that up on the Instagram and make a little meme out of it, and everyone think I'm just so fucking. Shut up, idiot! You're a moron. You didn't even try. They didn't even try to look into it to say, is this quote from somewhere else? Because if you knew anything about Stark, even his son should know that Gene was a few years gone before that freaking movie came out. So why would his son do that? So someone's running that. I mean, the son's adult. Don't get me wrong, I can't stand him. But I mean, whoever's running that Twitter account, Instagram account, is an idiot that probably wasn't even alive when this movie came out.
Well, do you remember when Mark sort of took over Clobby'S Clubhouse that night when I brought up that I saw that Rod was selling film cells? And Mark jumped in because that's his area of expertise, right? And he's like, wait a second, Raquel. First of all, he can't sell those. So he just must be selling the autographs. And then you jumped in, Clobby. You're like, yes, he doesn't have the rights to do that. He has to sell the autographs, not the cells themselves. And then of course, Mark said, oh, listen, you can't pay that amount of money, please. Just wait here for a second and I'll go get you something from Fleabay. And so he went over and he found me something really nice from Fleabay, found it in Canadian dollars, and I moseyed on over and bought it.
It was a Spock cell, I think, from one of the movies, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So, and I bought it, by the way. But that's the thing that bothers me about all of this is that Rod is there on that Instagram, and whomever is running that account isn't adult. They're quite clever because when Clobby and Mark explained to me that he actually had no rights, the estate had no rights to sell the cells, that Rod couldn't sell them as an individual, I was like, ooh, this is very clever. So this is why the person who's running the Instagram is saying he's selling the signatures instead. So when you guys clued me into that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is kind of dark and kind of shifty. So it's a clever person.
Because everyone wants Rod's signature, of course.
Right.
right?
I think that's a great point by Brian Hepburn. How, again, as Trek, almost always does when they quote something, just like when Paladin used to do "Have Gun Will Travel," he would show where he got it, where it came from.
Yep.
And they quoted like, "Yes, whales weep not," by D.H. Lawrence. I mean, that's what you do. That's what any honest person who's literate that quoted something.
That's right. I love that Brian brought that up, Brian Hepburn. I think that's great.
I like
that's why I
that,
put it up on the marquee. I could put that up again and we could read it for those who are participating in this just as a podcast. So, Bossman, would you read this, please, for everyone?
Brian Hepburn says, and by the way, thank you. I forgot to do it again. Thank you all who are lurking or anyone who is listening to this later on a download or a rewatch. We really appreciate you. And I don't say it enough. I was remiss in my duties to say that tonight. So thank you. And Brian Hepburn writes, even in the voyage home, when Kirk quotes "Whales Weep Not," Jillian says the title attributes it in dialogue to D.H. Lawrence. Yes, and it's all throughout Star Trek when someone will say something and they'll quote, or even when they get it wrong as a joke, like "All I ask is a tall ship," and it started in Trek 5, and McCoy goes Melville, and Spock corrects him, John Masefield. Yeah. And hey, Monkey Jeebus.
Monkey Jeebus.
Are you sure? And he said, "Are you sure about that? I'm well versed in the classics, Doctor." Oh yeah, not come you don't know how row your boat, but
yeah, that's a great line.
I mean, yeah. So they do it all the time, but this jackass can't do it. I don't know.
And isn't it so funny because even the way that you're like a typical Trekkie would package it, just the way you packaged it, boss, which is that people who watch the 735 Club stuff, the good stuff, the 735 real Star Trek iterations, they're accustomed to saying that what they're watching is cerebral because it's well wrought by science fiction writers and because it's well read. You don't get on Star Trek and start playing Mozart and say, Michael Dorn wrote this piece or Worf wrote this or whatever. Like there's always this element of, yes, Star Trek's intelligent, it's cerebral, it's written by science fiction people, it's well read. And so here I just what's happening? What is happening to Star Trek, you guys? It's just bloody awful.
This happens all too often, not just Star Trek, but a lot of stuff. It's just people are very sloppy, and you've got this fantastic resource, the internet, but there's so many things that get by or become, legend or, legends, or not conspiracy things, but just, they become almost true after a while, and they're not true.
How full that is.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, Dolly did have braces. It's another thing. But yeah,
and not to switch to, in fact, to stay along the same lines of writing, but a little bit different thing. I wanted to talk a little bit about you, and I touched on it a little bit last night, Mark. And this goes back to something that Raquel has talked about so much. When you talk about that warning, didacticism, Raquel, in entertainment. Well, and since we are a comics-related show, this is related to comics. You all know what a huge fan I am of the great Alan Moore. I think he's probably one of the greatest, if not, comic writers of all times. And I love in one of his early interviews, when people ask him about comic book writing and when he was just hitting the scene back in the 80s, he said, because you got to think of it as a writer, when you write, even a comic, not a comic book writer, but a writer. And he didn't want to be pigeonholed as just a comic book writer. And that's what he is. He was a writer who wrote a lot of great comic books and many other things. And now he's a snake god in Olympus right now, or he thinks he is. But that's another story. He's a Looney Tune, but he's brilliant. And again, this is a guy
brilliant Looney Tune.
This is a guy that is he's pretty far left. We don't get political here, but this is to make a point about didacticism that Raquel was always talking about. He's not. He's certainly. He would probably call himself far left. Certainly no horrible alt-right person. And yet he was quote. This was an interview from of all places, Salon, about 2009 or something like that. Back when the crappy Watchmen movie came out. Okay, I like it in some ways. We'll have that fight later. In fact, I'm gonna try to get Tom to have a big Watchmen discussion with me soon. The movie. So he basically is. This is the last line in the book Watchmen. They're asking him basically what it means, and Alan Moore said this in the interview. He said, "I believe the ending quote is." of course, it was. I leave that entirely in your hands, which I think was. Oh, but I should do it in Moore's voice. Let's see. Which I think was me talking to the reader, because I don't think that it is the purpose of fiction to actually dictate a political moral reality. I feel really uneasy about that. I think that's why I introduced a lot of the moral ambiguities into V for Vendetta in the first place. Some of the fascists are sympathetic, and some of these actions are very questionable. It's not my job to tell people what to think. If I can actually, in some way, help the reader's own creative thinking, then that's got to be everybody's benefit. And I'm sorry, I usually do a much better Alan Moore than that. Sorry. But
Well, what
anyway,
he's explaining is the Socratic dialectic, and that's what you want to do. You want to tickle somebody's brain and provide enough facts and questions that they begin to, look at all the information and form their own thought. Before I let you continue, boss, I need to interrupt you because
no, you're good.
you're getting some compliments on the
I thought that was pretty damn good.
on the impression. Matthew Pounder, of all people, is saying that's great. But could I please turn the boss, Captain?
Catman's
Would you
here?
please go to the starred column? There are three
Yes,
things.
we got some new people here.
Yes, and also guess who joined
member.
us?
Brian
Yeah.
Hepburn joined us. Remember, I can't see the level because I'm not seeing the outside of the thing there, but either way, it doesn't matter. Thank you so much, Brian Hepburn. Really appreciate that. Hello, Catman, AKD to Myers, by the way.
Yay!
And hello, Mark Lerseth. I went with General Hospital instead of She-Hulk. Good move. And DJ Ronnie G said, I liked it. I'm not sure what it's referring to. Could be the Watchmen movie. Could be She-Hulk. I don't know. I don't want to put any roles on him.
Generations? No, just kidding.
I don't know what he's referring to there.
Anyway, I very rudely interrupted you.
No, that's
Please
all right.
continue,
You
boss.
didn't interrupt me at all. I just love doing my Eddie Moore voice, and that's really over the top. But he really does talk like this, You ever heard Alan Moore talk, Mark?
I have, yes. I'm saying it's good. Yeah, I need subtitles when he talks.
I like when he told this story back in his first interview back in '85 or so, right before a year before Watchmen came out, and he was talking about Watchmen. Though he had just set the comic industry on fire even before that. And there was this little videotape circulating the comic shop stuff that was kind of a little interview with him. He was talking about how because he's been deconstructing superheroes a little bit, and he's telling the story how when he first realized there was something wrong with the people in superhero universes because they don't recognize Clark Kent when he takes his glasses off. He said, I was very, very young, and I dressed up. I made a costume of one of the patriotic superheroes. I think it was the Shield, and I dropped down under a tree in front of my friends and started making superhero speech or whatever. And they was like, hello, Alan. And I said, I'm not Alan. And I was convinced they wouldn't be able to recognize me just because I had this mask on, in spite of the fact that I had the same hair. And that was when I realized there's something fundamentally wrong with people in superhero universes. Now, he did some brilliant comics deconstructing them, but he realized later that probably shouldn't have been deconstructed. But because something is great doesn't necessarily mean it should have happened. And because something does some damage doesn't mean necessarily it should have happened. The world just isn't that simple. But he was brilliant. He did some extraordinary work. And I still don't know what he referred to as he liked it, but I'm going to guess he's talking about Watchmen because you cannot mention that movie without somebody disagreeing with you.
I liked it. Yeah, I did like the movie. Yeah.
Well, I'll allow it. Bromy accent. I try, yeah. Matthew. I try. Thank you.
That's not like Matthew. Matthew's not the kind of person to just be giving out compliments willy nilly. So I'd take that to heart. And that's the second positive comment he made about your impression.
I got a criticism. I'm enunciating too well. Moore's. It's too.
Yeah, but it's fancy.
Mumbling.
Look at this.
Any Moore's to be lost, Mark, and the paranoid android. Oh God, I'm so depressed. Here I am, brain the size of a planet, and they ask me, J.D. Lewis, hello there.
life.
JD Lewis, welcome.
Don't
And
talk to
Matthew
me
Pounder
about
says,
life.
it's true. This is my neck of the woods. And Chris Persia says, Alan Moore is the real life Marvin, the paranoid
Paranoid,
android in
yes.
a human meat suit.
Yes, he does sort of sound like Alan. Alan Moore sounds sort of like Marvin, the paranoid android. Oh, God, I'm so depressed.
Yes.
It gives me a headache even to think down to your level, with a brain the size of a planet, that is.
Life.
Such
Don't talk to me about life.
I love that. I love the Stephen Moore. And by the way, his name Stephen Moore was doing that voice. No relation to Alan, but as much as I love Alan Rickman, he's not Marvin. Marvin is Stephen Moore. I hate that American movie. Don't get me started. That American Hitchhiker's Guide movie? No, sir.
no, sir.
No, ma'am.
You'd rather listen to Vogue on Poetry.
No, they, them. I'd rather listen to
Vogon poetry.
Vogon poetry is, of course, the third West in the entire universe. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
anyway.
that's Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, just in case. I'm
Since
sure
we're ta-
everyone in our chat knows that. But
hey,
yeah.
Hey, Pop Culture's
Culture
here.
Republic.
Pop Culture Republic. Pop.
Since we're doing a bummer, and I hate to do this to you, Hungry Boy, because I'm going to start out on a bummer. At least we'll kind of cheer up with some tripwire. Because the comics industry lost another giant this past week. Tom Palmer.
No.
Hungry Boy. We talk about Palmer sometimes. He was a great artist before he started just doing a lot of inking, but he was one of the most prolific inkers in the history of comics. And he inked. We sadly lost Neil Adams a while back, great Neil Adams, and he was one of Adams, inkers on a lot of stuff early on in Neil's career. Exactly, Pop Culture. There is no American Hitchhikers, absolutely. Ezra Goldstein, hello there. Shalom to you.
Ezra.
I have a big crush on Zoe Deschanel, though. So just so you know,
yeah.
So I love her truly. And,
I am tired of that.
Love her.
Well, aren't we all, buddy? Yes. Yep. He was a
Very
hero.
bad
He
year,
was a hero
yep.
of Hungry Boys. He was a hero of anyone who, he was a master of comic book art who mostly did inking, even though he was a great artist in his own right. But I always thought he could overpower a penciler sometimes, but in a good way. I think my favorite work of his was on Gene Colan on Tomb of Dracula. Of course, on Doctor Strange too. And he was, good Lord, if you look up his credit, he's one of the top, just most prolific comic book artists of all time in terms of work, just page content. I mean, it's just outrageous.
And inkers don't get much credit, too, I have to say.
No, inkers don't get a lot, even though, they do from really the hardcore fans. Hello, Neuron and Axamanda Bear.
And you're right.
Anaximanda Bear.
Best inking was Palmer.
Probably ever.
X-Men 56. Yeah, Neil Adams. Oh, God. He was great. Now, I thought it was weird. Him on Byrne, I thought was kind of weird, but on that Silver Surfer one shot, but still, Byrne liked him the best. He was Byrne's favorite inker, and of course, he inked later on that X-Men Hidden Years. But yeah, it's a damn shame, man. First thing I think of his works was Avengers in mid-'80s as classic comics. Yeah, he inked John Buscema and many others on that one. Of course, he worked on Avengers, many years before that as well. And inked Neil Adams a lot, like we said. His early '60s stuff, penciling and inking, was delicious, as Hungry Boy said. Yeah, he was great, man. He really was. And we're running out of the greats. Anyone who left from the Silver Age and Bronze Age, they're almost all gone. And this year we lost in the span of in a week and a half we lost George Perez and Neil Adams. Jesus Christ. I mean, and then later Tim Sale passed, and we had a couple other ones too.
Yeah.
It's like, a couple other that I can't think of at the moment. So anyway, a big Clobberin times. Thank you to the great Tom Palmer. We'll take a look at a little bit of his stuff right here. Just some of it, just for a flyby look at some of his, because it would take too long to just arrange. And maybe I'll do some more later. But let's just take a look at some of his great work. If we can find it here, find some of them here. Yeah, he was. He was amazing. I don't have anything prepared, everyone, but he, like I say, he just there's some. Actually, I don't think he. Oh, there's one of the splash pages.
So if you're listening in tonight and you're not participating in the live chat and you're not watching on YouTube and you're just listening to this like it's an old time radio hour, Clobby has gone out onto the very wicked Google, DuckDuckGo, Brave, and he is showing everyone some beautiful covers and sifting through and curating the good stuff from the bad stuff, and that ignites the chat in discussing what they love, what their favorites are, highlights, lowlights, and so that's what's going on right now.
I think this is one of my all-time favorite splash pages of anything. It's Neil Adams, Tom Palmer. This is during the thick of the classic Avengers Kree Skrull War, and yeah, he was superb. He was a great inker, great artist, and Mr. Angel. Hey there.
Hey, Mr. Angel.
Evening, Chef.
Good to see you, Chef. I hope you're doing well.
I hope you're doing okay. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, Hungry Boy, I know you probably already knew about it, but I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say a little bit about that because let's see, we go with the splash page of X-Men 56. Oh, let's find that one. I'll say that big. I don't know. I may be able to duck it because this is not Google at all.
Yeah.
Hungry Boy said that. Hungry Boy knows me very well. He picks out he knows the exact art that I like, fine art and pop art. He knows my taste.
I have X-Men 56, so if you could probably find it faster than me.
I don't know if I can find it through this.
Although my opinion means absolutely nothing. I know nothing about comics, folks. Just so you know, I hang around with geeks, but I'm actually an academic. I'm a nerd. I'm a total nerd.
Oh, here it is.
Book nerd. And I'm just learning from these very, very intelligent geeks who have like an encyclopedia-like knowledge of all things comics. So
it's kind of a small picture here, but I love it. I've always loved this. That's a good call there.
X-Men 56.
X-Men 56. Yeah, if you can get, I can get it.
Yeah, I can pull up the issue. Yep.
That's pretty.
I'm pretty sure.
I can just because I have this and save it.
Yeah, because I have the the CD or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'll get it. I'll just get it here.
Yeah, I got it here. X-Men 56.
You got it already?
Yeah, I'm opening up the book. Yep. It's she's loading. Yep.
Faster than me.
Well, let's see how fast my computer is, but yeah, there we go.
Well, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Yep.
Okay.
Well, I have it. And I own it.
I'm watching this show
digitally.
on Brave and a VPN as we speak. Good for you, JT Kirk. You know how to internet, baby. I love you.
Yes. Excellent. Oh, here we go.
That is how you internet, folks. You internet cover, like JT Kirk.
That's the cover, yep. And there's the splash page, yep.
The splash page is incredible.
Let's just look at the whole issue. He inked Adams, and that was
look at the body. Look at the beautiful. Look at the composition of the human body. Look at the muscles. Look at just.
Oh
everything.
Yeah, that's Neil Adams, but Tom Palmer's inks are a big part of that.
That's gorgeous.
Because this was early on Adams too. By the way, I know a lot of people. This is not popular, but I kind of like those X-Men uniforms from the mid of the run because I know it's not the original group.
Yep. Yeah, it says introducing the penciling wizardry of Neil Adams.
It's one of his first.
Introducing.
Yes, his first Marvel work.
One of the all-time greats. Yeah.
Not as beloved as his other work, but I loved Palmer's Star Wars work. Yes. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful work. This is amazing work.
I have a British album annual with reprints of these X-Men, Adams X-Men's. I got given for my 18th birthday. I'll never forget. I got 4 of those British annuals, which were Marvel reprints. And they had, I got a Steranko one, a Kirby one, a Romita one, and a Adams one. I still have them. This is great.
The colors are just unbelievable. Colors and shadows and just playing with light to fool the mind about the nature of the presentation, the nature of the image, making it more and more and more real, but at the same time otherworldly and very pretend. It's a very cool. It's a cool line to walk in comics that I don't see often, and I only know about it because of you guys like showing it to me. And then I was like, wow, this is what's happening. This is gorgeous.
And these are fantastic panels here.
I
Look at
just
that
love-
drawing of Iron
I
Iceman.
love
How good that is right there.
I
But the
love Silver
panels
and Bronze Age comic book art. I love
Yeah.
it so much. Yeah.
the panel work is fantastic on this.
These were a lot of people don't like these X-Men uniforms, but I kind of like them. These are the ones they got later, not the original ones. But
Well, I love that
these
Jean
couple
Grey.
of
I just bought.
I
I have
love
an
that Jean
action
Grey
figure.
outfit.
Yeah, I have the action figure for our show. Show
Nice.
later. Yeah, with that outfit, of course. Yep. Yep.
Oh, there's this page right here. This is beautiful. This is phenomenal. And again, you can guarantee that a lot of this is Palmer. I mean, he was a, I don't want to say he overpowered Adams, but he overpowered a lot of pencilers, not necessarily Adams, but a lot of this. The beauty of this and the texture of it. I mean, it's Palmer too.
Sorry
It's
about that, everyone. If you heard that big truck go
big
by,
deal.
it's extremely hot here, and I have to have the
don't worry
window
about it.
open.
It's not
But
big.
Mr. Angel,
That wasn't
sorry
a
about that, honey.
Zamboni, was it?
No, actually, something very odd happened. I live on a very private, quiet street, and a bus just went by. So I think a bus driver
problem.
may have gotten lost, or perhaps there's something happening on the
Weird.
roadway, because we're not supposed to have large vehicles like that out on the road. So something's up.
Oh, cool. No problemo. You have that Avengers was it 90? Any of those like Avengers he did?
Oh
I mean,
yeah, I have the whole run of Avengers. So yeah, let me stop.
Let's see. I forgot what issue
Stop
was again.
Let me know what here. I'll figure
Let's
out.
see.
Guess
It
the
was
number.
The
Then I'll
Pre-Scroll
pull it up.
War, 90s. Let me go back. I'll just get back to it. Oops. Nope. Where you at? Oh, here's. Oh man, I love this cover. This is from Avengers. Oh, cripes. Oh, look at that Black Bolt cover there. I can't. It was the Kree Skrull War, but that's not going to tell me anything here. Let me find some. Okay.
Let me know whenever you
That's right.
need the custom Clobby elevator music, because I will provide it.
It was
yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hang on a second. 90. Go with Avengers 93, I guess, because that's that was
Avengers
right.
93. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because that's of course that's Adams and this is Adams and Palmer as well. The Kree Skrull War, it's a classic.
Yep.
These look like the same X-Men uniforms that were featured in the arcade game years later. No,
Okay,
these
Avengers
were
93.
They were a little
There we
bit in the arcade game had a little bit different ones, but yeah. But I did like those. So there we go. This is again the Kree Skrull War is, and it's not hyperbole to say it's one of the all-time classics. It'll be reviewed again soon on Clobberin Times.
That's a beautiful
What year
comic right
was-
there.
Was this early?
72-ish, 70,
Okay.
71, 72. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see, what does it
that's
say?
some nice stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, not copyright 1970. Yeah, of course you're correct. Yep, 1971. Yeah.
Never a doubt, man. Never a
Yeah.
doubt.
It's not a
Ballpark
great
it.
scam, but it's still very
Yeah, it's all right. It'll do.
good stuff. Though, yeah. Of course, this is when we read comics back in the day too. You know, if you got an old comic, it was always faded a little bit, or when it came off the rack too, it wasn't. It wasn't on fancy paper. It was on newsprint. So
You want to see a Star Trek comic he did?
sure.
Okay, well, Marvel Star Trek number 11, if you have it.
I shall look for
You
that.
think
Yeah.
you have it?
I'm just
I have
gonna-
it somewhere, but
Let me check. Let's see here.
Marvel number 11. I'll be right back.
Marvel Star Trek number 11.
I have all my. It's a Marvel.
I don't know
let's
if you
see,
have those.
Star
I have
Trek
them somewhere, but
Let's see, Star Trek number 11. Here we go.
You have it?
Yeah, I got it. Yep, I got that.
I got that. I got that.
Is that what you're looking for?
Raquel might have that one. Yeah.
I have a ton of these. You know, I bought these. They had a deal you could
I
buy
got
them
it, I
digitally.
got
Oh, she
it.
got it.
You got
Sorry,
it, awesome.
sorry. Did I interrupt you? Sorry, friend.
No.
I love you. Sorry about that. I got it.
It's not a great scan, but it's Joe Brzezowski, an artist I was not that familiar with. Did the pencils on it. But yeah, there you go. Palmer ink.
Okay, well, I'm going to open it. I've never opened it before. I'm going to open it as you talk about it.
Be very careful
Everyone?
with the tape.
See, I'm not even
is
familiar
it
with this
tape or is it?
penciler.
It's tape. Is it okay,
Watch.
Mark?
You
It's
can see
okay, but
Adam's-
just watch it so you don't zap your cover when you take it out. So I fold the
Okay,
tape over. I
so
rip
hold the flat back.
Yeah, you got to be careful
Okay,
with
boss.
the tape.
Right.
I got
It's
it, I
known
got
to
it.
eat comic books. That's why I always buy self-sealing bags now if I can get them.
Self-sealing
You-
stem bolts.
Yes.
Yes, stem bolts. Yep.
Stem bolts. You can see. You can see this penciler Joe Brokowski's got. Never you saw much at all, but you can see Tom Palmer all over those inks.
Oh my God, you guys! I've never taken this out before. It's so
Oh, wow.
awesome.
Does it smell
You
good?
wouldn't believe the way it smells. It smells like cigarettes and library.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
nice. Yep.
Cigarettes, library,
Nice.
and ink. You can actually smell the ink. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, it's so
This is-
good.
It's a good looking Star Trek comic.
Look at the advertisements.
Oh yeah, you got the ads and everything. This scan probably doesn't have the ads.
Yeah.
Always
they
picked
took 'em
on.
out,
The
yeah.
Atlas fit in 7 days.
Oh, God.
With dynamic tension.
Looking at those ads is part of the fun of looking at these old
Yeah.
comics.
Right?
I'm disappointed that Glamour says uniforms are the boring gray ones from. They're kind of bluish, but I like them. I like the motion picture uniforms. I don't mind. I mean, it's kind of fun seeing those. But I understand, Linron.
Oh my God. I should read this. This is great. Look at this. There's a Star Wars ad in here.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's some great Star Trek comics. I mean, there's
Oh
some
yeah.
really
They're
good
looking
reads.
for
I mean,
people to deliver. They're looking for kids to deliver a magazine called Grit.
Grit,
It's a
Grit, yeah.
newspaper.
Yep.
out of
Grit.
Williamsport,
I-
Pennsylvania.
I know what that. I'm seeing that ad. That might be a Neil Adams ad. I don't know, but I'm seeing that ad right now in my head that you're mentioning. That I
Yeah.
remember it that much.
And if it's back in the day, it's very sexist. It says boys. It's all geared towards boys. And
No, it
boys,
says
of
good
course.
boys and girls.
okay. Well, the early ones just would mention boys, so it's
Well, I want one now that just mentions the boys. I don't want to deliver newspapers. That sucks. Let the boys do that. This is gorgeous and it smells phenomenal.
I love nothing like that old newsprint smell. It's like
Yeah.
47
There's
years
a
old.
Pez candy ad,
Oh
boss.
God! Oh, those. Oh, the ads are hilarious. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an old comics part of the fun. It might even be. I don't know if the hostess ads might not be running at this point. This is
Oh.
like 79, 80, but 80ish or something. But
I wish Scuba Pete were here right now because it's got the classic Joker. It says Pez candy. We're the toys that you fill with candy treats. They're positively fantastic. Positively. Okay? Where are
What a
you,
bad dad
Scuba
joke.
Pete?
That's an old bad
Professor
dad
of
joke.
Pun.
Yeah.
wow,
Papa Professor of Pun. Hey, what page are you on?
he's way toward the end right now.
Oh, this girl's beautiful. She has gorgeous breasticles and nice hair.
Well, Mr. Angel, you got to understand, she just got these comics as a gift fairly recently, over the past year or something. He said, "You never opened it." I know collectors love their comics, but I collect to read. I know I am kicking against some religious beliefs, so I will assign myself the $5 break. Nah, we've got the agony booth for you, just in
Yes,
case.
somebody
Now,
somebody put him in the agony booth, please. If you remember, you can do that.
Oh yeah, well I used to hate the ads too, JT Kirk, but when you go back and look at the old comics now, it's fun to see them.
Mighty Marvel's big money savings with a huge holiday offer. Prepare yourself for the bargain of the season. If you subscribe to any Mighty Marvel mag listed below, the first subscription costs $5. A big $1 savings off the regular sub price
Wow,
of
a whole
$6.
one whole dollar?
Now,
whole
here's
dollar?
the best part. Each additional title you subscribe to is only $4. A big savings of $2.
I had
the
a
more
subscription.
Mary Marvel mags you order, the more you save.
I got that very thing. I got that five for $4 subscription one year for Christmas, or I think it was. And I had to choose the titles, and that was tough choosing the titles. And of course, I don't know if that ad you're looking at now says it, but it's live. It says they're all mailed flat.
Yeah.
Does
You
it say
actually
that on
got
there?
your parents to send a check to Marvel. I could never get my
see.
parents to do that. I'm like, Mom, I need
Yep.
to write a check to Marvel. I'm not sending
think they
money to
felt
a
bad
comic
for-
book company.
I think it was part of it because they felt guilty about burning my comics years earlier.
Yeah.
Because I was astonished. One of the titles I subscribed to Fantastic Four, Hulk, Spider-Man, Avengers, and Battlestar Galactica.
Hey, do you
And they burned
remember
them
when
all.
I thought it
when
was
people were
79.
largely pretty smart? You know that there's a classified ad here that says poems set to music. Let our staff, professional songwriters, turn your words into a song. Send your best poems for prompt consideration. Sorry, it's a bit blurry, folks. Free examination. Songs recorded, phonograph records made, Nashville Music Productions, Box 4001, Studio T, Nashville, Tennessee, 37204.
Oh man, those ads. See, I have all the Trek comics from on digital on a disc, one of those discs as well, but I don't know if those come with that. Those come with the whole ads and everything. And like my Spider-Man one and my Fantastic Four ones, they come with the whole comic scanned, even the ads and stuff.
Why aren't we reading these comics together? We should do it. We should do that on the Clubhouse.
Clobberin
We
Tom
should read one
sent
comic.
us the Dead of Honor comic to read, which is we should do that one night.
I want to read these comics.
Once
I
I
want
send
to
it
read
to
the
you.
Star Trek comics together. And if I'm missing one, I'll order it as long as it's not $1 million.
Yeah, that'd be
Right.
fun to review a Trek comic every now and then. Well, we're gonna review Dead of Honor when you get it. When you get that, that's
Yeah, I got to get
I think you really like that. Great art, interesting, or you might not, but still, whether you like it, it'll be fun. So
Look at this.
What-
There's a
what-
mechanical pet monkey. X-ray vision. I had the X-ray vision glasses. You could get them at the
Of
5 and
course.
dime for under a nickel. You could also get a bloody mashed rat for $2.95.
It's a bargain.
Hey, Gwagnar, where's that Con Palmer illustration site you're talking about? I didn't know he had one.
That's
It's
his
got the
own personal
Revolution
website.
soldiers, war soldiers for $2.98. I had these. I hated it when the bottom
there
got
you go.
like all screwed up and then they wouldn't stand. Then you'd have to stick them in your mouth to warm them up and then like try and move the base around so they'd stand up. So annoying, especially when the horse's legs were too short on one side.
Different Tom Palmer.
Oh my God, I want to read this now. Dear 1980,
I got it up, Clobberin Tom.
I
Yep.
love you.
Got it?
Love Raquel.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Oh, we got the Tom Palmer's website. We'll
Thank
put
you
some
for
of
that,
his art.
Gwagnar. Thank you for that. Yep.
Thanks, Gwagnar. Okay, look at there. Some of his stuff. Again, this is so this is the original art page. I guess this is something he inked Tom Grenberg on.
Okay,
Man
let
of
me put
Steel
this back
92,
without
1999.
wrecking
Yep.
it.
Let's see. Look at the paintings. He was talking about the paintings. Let's go to the paintings.
Yep.
That's
Oh, I
what,
love this page. I love this page. That's a good page. Yep.
This is difficult. I don't want the stupid tape to stick to it.
Oh. Oh wow.
Okay, I have to press mute while I swear.
Oh, go ahead. We can swear.
I'll be right back. I have to put my comics back.
Yeah,
Look at
usually
what you
cut
did
the
to
tape
me.
off
You
and then
geeks.
they'll
Go for
put new
it.
tape on. Yep.
Let's wait
Geek.
for.
Geeks
wait
have
for,
me saying on air, I have to put my comics back. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, no, don't start without her.
Well,
You guys, I
She
just
can
got
see.
it in and I put it in backwards. Damn it. I'll be right back.
Okay. After this, we'll do Tripwire because I know Hungry Boy can't wait.
Oh, he's been waiting all night for
Loves
that. Yeah.
tripwire, yeah.
I'll scroll
It's
back
not
up.
bad.
really
It's
quick.
just,
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
I love it. Wow. I'd never
Yeah.
seen this painting. Well, I mean, I've seen some of them, but I know he had a site for it.
Yes, I remember seahorses and
Seahorses.
yeah, but also the sea monkeys.
Oh,
Yeah.
sea monkeys.
The
And,
sea bugs. Yep.
Hey, guess what, guys? I
What?
got it back inside. I put the
Yep.
genie back in the bottle.
Nice.
Carefully, I
Wow.
hope. Yeah. Yeah. The tape
I
is.
did, Mark.
Hungry Boy says the tape troubles. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yes, the
takes some
tape
practice.
troubles.
You did. See, again, you were a complete rookie at doing that. And you did it well. You didn't even need any help from us.
Hey, there's
So-
The worst
Wolfman.
when the tape snags a
Yeah.
cover. You're just like, oh, no. I can't believe
So-
I did it. What a novice.
So these are paintings from on the website of the late great Tom Palmer. Let's look at some of these. Go back to that first one for a second, though. Wow, that's fantastic. Star Wars.
2007. Yeah.
Okay, proceeds. Love that Universal Monsters.
Creature.
That's great.
Black Lagoon. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Stars.
I love that. Was it Animal Farm?
Look at the
Oh, it's-
brushes.
He's showing the brushes. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, you
It's
gotta you gotta pause on this for 1
Well,
second.
no, I just want to tell you,
because-
it's it's
because,
an ad for brushes. Yep.
Yeah, Hungry Boy might have some input here. He may or he may not. You know, he's always teaching people about fine arts. So
If you like comic book ads, the book Mail Order Mysteries is a great book. Oh, cool, Wagner. Thank you. Thank you for the recommendation.
near rot. The seahorses
Proceeds,
ate the sea monkeys. Yeah, the sea monkeys were actually like brine, weren't they? They were like shrimp.
Yeah, they were just they were literal sea bugs.
Yeah, like bugs.
So you may continue because I don't even know where Hungry Boy's around at the moment. So, wow.
No, he's there. He says, "Hurrah for Raquel!" And then he says, "Isabey, the Rolls Royce of brushes." I knew
There you
he'd
go.
say something. He's
Oh,
such
you mean
he's such
Yankees.
an
Wow.
art snob. I love when he likes something.
Catfish Hunter.
That was a big
That's
deal
old
when he
school there,
came when he
Catfish
came to the Yankees. It was a big pickup from Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
He had one great year in '78 when his career was kind of going downhill, but he actually helped the Yankees win the
Looks
World Series in '78.
I know Tom did a lot of commercial art as well. So a lot of comic book artists at the time took any kind of commercial art gig they can get, and I'm sure he
Oh,
did
and
a
this
lot
was
of it.
this was a giveaway from '70. All right, that makes sense. Yeah,
79 painting
yeah.
like Tom Palmer. Wow.
And
Oh,
Catfish,
wow.
I think, passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
That's terrible.
Years later,
This is nice right here. Nice Star Wars one. Cool.
Hungry
good.
Boy. Yes, you
Oh,
are
wow.
an aficionado. I'm sorry. Diction correctly corrected. Yes, I understand. You're not a snob. You're an aficionado. No, I just say that because I have
Snob.
to. I have to
Harumph.
express how much I respect your opinion and your willingness to teach people from a humble spot. I love you.
All right, now what geek in the audience can guess what this is?
Probably you.
Well,
Is
I
it a
know what it
record
is.
player? No, it's a film projector.
It's kind of, you could call it a record player in a way.
No, it's a film
It's
projector,
a
right?
laser disc player,
No,
not a VCR.
it's a hard drive.
Oh,
It
I
is
said computer,
not.
You said no.
Looks like a hard drive to me, or it
Well, I
could be,
said
or maybe
computer.
it's a
You're probably right.
8-inch hard drive Arise is greater
Well,
than
see, I knew
floppy.
you'd know it.
See?
I didn't
See?
doubt you.
See, you did that, yeah.
Ew.
But a hard drive is a record player when you that's how what a
Well,
hard drive looks
yeah,
like.
but it's a spinny Madooter, everyone. A
And
spinny
I actually
Madooter.
saved my Micropolis first hard drive. That's I think it was like 500 megabytes. It was out of an IBM AT. So AT was the first IBM with a hard drive. Well, the first one you could get add-on hard drives, but it was sold with a hard drive. So, and it's a massive. It's like a big, huge brick,
Wowzer.
and it's 500 megabytes. Yep.
Nice.
I was not expecting artwork like that folded into all of these other comics.
Well, a lot of these comic book artists at the time, I mean, they were up in New York. They took every kind of commercial gig they can get. I've always loved this one here. Fantastic. Great stuff. Just because of the cat part alone, really. I don't like too many. I can't stand quick.
Who was that? Is that with the antenna? The lady with is that? Was that someone from
that chick's name? One of the X-Men chicks or somebody?
Lolan? What was her?
Whomever she is, she sure looks like Billy Idol.
I think she was the Shire lady, Lilandra, yeah, one of those.
Lilandra, yeah, someone to help us.
But
But
I know she was a Shire. There's the pencils of it. Okay. Wow.
Mantis? Yeah, you guys think that's Mantis?
But that's not Mantis.
Mantis was green, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's Mantis is white in the comic. And even in the movie. Not Mantis. Not Mantis, sir, sorry. Unless they change it. I think she said Shire lady. Lilandra. That's Lilandra, that's right. Okay. Oh wow. Stop fires, save lives, indeedishness.
That looks like 1968. Imagine how old 1968 is. My God,
that was the Wasp. She was mutated at that point. Says Phantom.
When she was.
That's right. It was Heroes
right.
Deformed.
Yeah.
She looks like Miranda, but he's right. That is the Wasp when she was.
Yeah, when she to start turning into a wasp-like creature.
Sucked. Yeah. Oh, no wonder that was like that. Oh man, this is late 90s Garbaggio, but the art's good. Anyway, continue.
Did that inspire Babylon 5?
No, it was way after it.
Maybe
the other way around.
I know, but look at the hair.
Making
a joke. A bad joke.
No, I got you. No.
God, 68.
Other way around.
More than 50 years ago. God.
Wow.
Oh, Labyrinth. And there's Betty Banner.
Yeah, that's right. That is absolutely true. Classic Comics says before the last couple of decades, being a comic artist was not seen as a desirable profession. Most artists wanted to be something else. That is too true.
I've got that. I actually have that. And then for some reason, the program lists that one as being extremely valuable. I don't understand why, but Crawford Publication. Oh,
let's take a look a little bit about it. Go to where it says comic book art. Take a little bit of look at that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, like you said, all these people would do commercial ads and work too when they. Oh, that's nice. Black Knight. Yeah, Skybox.
Black Knight, cool.
Let's see, comic art.
Awesome. Nice.
Star Wars #1, 76. Wow.
Yeah. That's a strange top square.
Yeah.
That's that wasn't on there. Oliver Belamonte, what's up, man? He says,
Oliver.
Clobby, Mark, Raquel, any comment on Roddenberry's son, Ron, defending ST Strangled Nude Worms TV show as he disliked Shatner's comment, as he says Shatner doesn't know what he's talking. Did he say that? Well, my comment will be he can go screw himself, and I have nothing more to say because he's a moron, sellout, jackass. That would be my comment. I can't speak for anyone else here. And he could take it up his face sideways until it comes out of his ass and do all kind of other crap. Screw him.
Well, for me, for how I'm going to respond to that, Oliver Belamonte, is the comment speaks for itself, right? Because, it can be Star Trek in name. That doesn't make it Star Trek. So I think it's just very revealing. He likes strangled nude worms. So what does that say, right? Whereas what William Shatner has said is true. And I guess it's easy to genuflect. And obviously to promote something because you're making money off of it. But I mean, if it's not good, I think it takes more courage to say, this isn't good, and fix it. And it's funny because previously people were pretty fearless in saying that. They would they didn't even want to be a part of films or television shows. If they sucked, they would leave. Now it's just like audience bad, corporation good, do as you're told.
JT Kirk for the win. He says that young Roddenberry can engage the warp engines without the inertial dampers. Hell yeah.
brain.
I mean, I'm guessing he doesn't have anything to do with the show, right? He just says he
gets-
likes it and gets paid, maybe
But
something.
he's
Yeah.
a shill of some sort. Yeah, I
He
mean,
gets
Yeah, no, but I'm
paid.
just like he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's not. Does he make
He gets
money
paid.
directly from the show? You think, or
Yeah.
just wondering? I don't know, but yeah, because I remember when
I think he does.
reading when they were doing
Roddenberry
next,
Estate gets money off of it, right?
because when Next Generation started, Roddenberry didn't want to come on board initially, from what I've read, and they were trying to get, and they said we can't do Star Trek if we don't have Gene Roddenberry, because I think technically I'm could be wrong, but I think Paramount at the time had the rights to do a show without Roddenberry, but there was no way they could do it with him. And unfortunately, we know what happened when he basically got booted from the show, as Raquel read to us and explained to us. But yeah, it's just that show is just so we watched it just for to laugh at it. That was enjoyable. We were doing a stream party, private stream party, just to watch it, me and you, just to get through it. But what they did to my beloved Gorn, and how they destroy characters, and I finally read Vulcan's Glory. We could talk about that maybe
We'll get to that in
later.
a second,
Later,
but
yeah,
we'll get to Tripwire in a
later.
minute.
Yeah. After, but I can.
Anyway,
mention a few
Sean
things on that, yeah.
says Star Wars 87 was my first Star Wars comic. At around 7, got it for a long bus. He must have saw an 87 up there or something. Cover was mesmerizing, could stare at it all day. Indeed, Sean. But yeah, no, you can definitely want you to talk about Vulcan's Glory.
Yeah, when we get to it.
We'll get to it.
Well, I like this. This is
Mr.
great.
Angel, that will leave a big red stain on the bridge. Taking the temperatures offline, the whole crew will be 1 micron thick liquid spread all over.
Oh wait, this is one of my first Star Wars comics. I think I got 7, 8, and 9 because I bought one of those 3-packs together in Caldor's, which is a local store. When they when they repackaged the comics, they had them in 3-packs. And I guess now collectors want them in the original 3-packs. I opened that sucker up and I read the hell out of those comics. It's Tom Palmer inks. Yeah, wow, and pencils by Chaykin. Yeah,
He saved Chaykin's bacon. Chaykin
yeah, because this is a good page. Yeah,
Shaken bacon.
Chaykin the bacon. He saved his ass on that in there. Yep. So let's go ahead and do our. Let's get Tripwire out of the way, because you got a book to talk about, and you got stuff.
Oh, look at that! That's cool. Look at that.
That was from yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Who is that? Is that the Druid? No, that's not. That's who's the villain there? Who could that be?
That looks like Dracula to me.
Nope, not Dracula. He's not Dr. Druid. He's
Oh, it is. They're saying Dr. Druid. Yeah.
Is it Dr. Druid?
Domination of the Druid? Well, I was guessing.
He'll look like him.
295. Yeah, yeah. Around that time would be. Yeah.
Shouldn't look too much like Dr. Druid to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought maybe the Mandarin for a second one. No.
It just looks. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not bald. All right.
Oh, they're saying Druid, but yeah.
Is that Thor versus Zoid? I guess so.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of that mid '80s Marvel crap. I was checked out of Marvel. They were so bad thanks to Jim Shooter. I know Hunger will agree with that one. Okay, let's do some. What about some Tripwire?
Oh, and the next panel was Doctor Strange. Sorry, with Eternity. Doctor Strange 17. Let me share this real quick. That last panel, because I turned off my screen. Everyone's got to see this one panel. Sorry, this is such a good page.
Okay, hang on.
Sorry.
It should be.
They should be. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Look how beautiful that is. So that's Doctor Strange 172. Yep. With a real eternity, not what we got in the movie. Oh God.
Stupid eternity for the movie was awful.
Oh
shit.
God. Yeah. All right. Yep.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Cool
just
stuff.
had to throw that up. Yep.
You had to throw up?
No, throw that up.
Bobby.
Okay, it's Tripwire time.
I didn't throw up yet. Yep.
Yeah, well, I don't think this will make you throw up.
Not so bad.
Boy's gonna have some problems. But okay, number 24 on the 100 on the list here. Alex Ross. For those who don't know what that means, every week for the past almost year or so, these adults at Tripwire, which was once an actual real magazine, has been doing a countdown a weekly countdown for the most part. Weekly, they don't keep their own damn schedule. 101 greatest comic artists of all time, and I've been going after them. Each week we cover it, and they're really dumbasses. So,
what
anyway,
Clobby really wants to
24.
say is the fine folks at Tripwire, and I use the term fine very loosely, pull names out of a hat, and then we mock them mercilessly for it.
Yes, pretty much. Now, okay, we're at 24. Alex Ross. I love Alex Ross's work. I would have generally have no problem with him being around this point, but it's just my problem again. This is not a question of, as has happened a few times over the past couple of weeks. No problem with the artist, just problem with the placement. Oh wow, Hungry Boy's really not happy. I love Ross, but here's the thing: he does great covers, does pretty pictures. His interior work is not that vast, really. Yeah, how many full comic books has he really done?
Not that many, right?
He started out. He did a couple Terminator comics before anyone knew who he was, but then he did. All right, well, Mr. Angel, take it easy. Good to see you.
Take care,
just
Mr.
gonna
Angel. Be
interrupt.
good.
Thanks so much for that, Mr. Angel. We're all thinking of you, and I hope you're feeling better. And we're all thinking of you. So we're sending good vibes your way,
Yeah.
and those who pray and believe are sending their prayers for you, and those who just want you to know that we care about you. We send our best to you as well. Go get some rest. Thank you for stopping in.
Take it easy, man. And I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Pleasant Valley Picker. Of course, I've been covering this for a year. I mean, he says, hasn't Clobby covered this before? Yes.
Well, not this artist though. Yeah.
Not this. But he's just saying.
Yes, but we're on number 24.
Yeah, we keep going downhill.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He didn't say the artist. He just said have it covered. Access his before.
Well, they releasing
this artist. Yeah. No. Alex Ross has not been released yet. Pleasant Valley. He's number 24. He's the new entry this week, sir.
August 23rd. Yep.
Anyway, all right. So let's look at what they've got here. Of course, I like. I mean, look. He's as a person. He's by the way, as a person, he's a shithead. I'm just going to say that right. I don't care who quotes me on it. Despicable sometimes, but separate the art from the artist. I love his work. That's what I'm not going to say what I want to do. It got weird because both of your mics were off. No, I'm used to hearing the background. No, it's fine. I just thought, did we go off or something? Because remember, I have to take my eyes off of the stream. No, you can turn your mic off if you need to. Something. All right, so here we go. Alex Ross. Let's look at some of his work.
Let's do it.
I love Marvels. This is one of the greatest comics ever. His work on Marvels is. His work's fantastic. He paints models. He paints models. Yes, he actually has people wear costumes and different things, and he paints models. I was talking about this actually with I forget who I was talking with this today, I think. How Alex Ross is not a cartoonist in the traditional sense. He's by the way, even though I have problems with him for certain things he said and done, Alex Ross has a true deep love and respect for the real deal and the great ones like Kirby and all that other kind of stuff. I don't deny any of that. But he's a painter. He's not a comic book penciler so much, or he's certainly not a cartoonist. He's what he does is kind of graphic storytelling, but it's not cartooning. I think I was talking about that over at J-Man's channel tonight with Sean. However, they're pretty pictures, and Marvels is one of the great comics, as is Kingdom Come. I'm sure there'll be some Kingdom Come in this one. Marvels is a brilliant story by Kurt Busiek, the writer of my favorite thing ever, just about Astro City. It's a great comic, and this is when everyone was first introduced to Alex Ross. I guess it was around 92 or 3 or whatever, 3 maybe. He makes it look like real people. And of course, there's, he co-created, he did a little bit of creating with Kurt Busiek for Astro City, but he only didn't do interiors. He only ever did he does all the covers for Astro City. So Astro City always has these amazing Alex Ross covers.
Yeah, it's incredible stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful. I love his work, and I love his. And again, my Astro City. You know how much I love that. I go on about it enough.
You're crazy for that stuff.
Now, the great J-Man and I reviewed Kingdom Come a few months ago by Mark Waid and Alex Ross. It's also a great piece of work. I love it. I mean, I love Ross's stuff. I have no problem with him placed here, so I'm not going to bitch about that. I'm just saying that it's about right for him since he doesn't know a lot of
put him
interiors.
around 24, 25. Yep.
And then, yeah, it might because of the interiors. But
30.
the thing is, there are a lot of guys way after him that should be ahead of him. That's all I'm saying. But I love Ross, his work, that is.
Yeah, there's no way some of the it was George Perez was in the 50s. I can't remember now.
It's 50. It was like 46. Yeah,
I mean, there's no way that Alex Ross is a fine artist.
This is a piece of shit he did with the Knuckle Sandbook. Screw that. Let me get by side. I hate that garbage.
But there's no way that Perez would be.
It's good art, but it's scumbag stuff. Well, get off of that crap. There we go. And then, of course, he's made a living doing zillions upon zillions of covers. I'm looking forward to his new Fantastic Four book.
Yeah.
But he's, he's just, look, it's beautiful work. It's not necessarily comic book work, but it's great. It's painting. I love his work on Justice, even though he didn't do all the art on that. I love this one, Superman Peace on Earth. What's that?
Well, his first work, actually, comic book work, was
Terminator.
No, it was actually Open Space, which is I want.
Oh, I had
which I love, which I'd sent to you guys, and that's another one I want to review because it's an anthology comic, and I think I sent it to you and Raquel a while ago. I'll show, and then they released it. It was actually Open Space. Unfortunately, got canceled after issue number 4. So his story was set to appear in issue number 5. And they finally released it, years and years later once Alex Ross got so popular. There's a whole story about, where he was working. And as you're talking, I'll try to dig it up so I can show that real quick.
JT Kirk says Wonder Woman had some hips. JT Kirk, I actually don't like the Wonder Woman that this man drew. I think his Wonder Woman is terrible.
I like it. I don't like the one he did in some of his other.
Well, scroll back up, and she looks like she has a very masculine face. Like, scroll back up.
He's done that to her before, but I thought these were okay. Let's see.
Yeah, right like no, yeah. Well, that one's bad, but scroll down a little bit. That one's bad, but go to the next one.
I don't mind that one.
That's even worse. What's going on there? Oh no, go down a little bit. What's going on there?
Well, maybe that's what the model that looks like that he painted for him.
He tries to make SpongeBob SquarePants.
He tries to make everybody like he paints real people for these things, so he tries to make everybody look like real people. Sorry. Oh, Ukraine! Jesus Christ!
It is beautiful, but like just his Wonder Woman is atrocious.
Remember,
she
Unbreakable?
looks like SpongeBob SquarePants. She looks like she lives in a pineapple under the sea.
He did this for this was some of the promotion stuff for the movie Unbreakable that came with the DVD. I have this.
Ooh,
I love Unbreakable. Security Man and Mr. Glass. He did so. So there we go. And again, there were some other examples I would pick. So anyway, that's number 24. I don't know if there's another one. Let me check. See if sometimes they double up. I don't think so.
Double up. Yep.
I'll check just in case. I don't think so. Let's see here. Oh, no. No, not yet. Okay, so we're fine. We're up to speed, up to date on what you call it, Tripwire. So there we go.
Oh, I found this, Alex. I'll just show a couple of pictures of it real quick.
If you must.
I must. Yep. I love Open Space. Oh, it's so good. That's so good.
That's what you say.
Yeah. And no one read it. That's why I got canceled. So let me new folder. Oh, here we go.
BC, yep. That's not what I meant by that comment. I didn't mean that comment at all. It's just yeah, anyway, like when I think of the Amazons and I think of Greek mythology, and I think of that type of storytelling. I have a specific idea in my mind of what the women look like, and yeah, she just I just thought that she looked a little bit like SpongeBob SquarePants. Very square head. It's a very square head. Sorry.
Why isn't Raquel here? Can you see that? Can you see Raquel's avatar? Can everyone see it?
I can see it. Yep.
I can't see it. I can
Am
see
I
you.
here?
I can see it. Yeah, no, you're here. I can hear you.
I can't see her. No, we can hear her. I'm
Oh,
not
you
talking
can't see your
about that.
avatar?
I can't see her on the. Now I'm seeing her on the other side. Let's went to YouTube. Okay, she's there. It's just my stupid StreamYards. I see you and me. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
And a blank where she is.
Have I been ghosted? Am I in trouble because I
No.
don't like SpongeBob
Well, wait a
Square
minute.
Wonder Woman?
I don't know.
No,
why
no,
it's
no, no,
doing
no.
that.
Raquel is cosplaying the Invisible Woman right now.
Oh, I forgot.
I'm not kidding. I don't understand this.
No, I see her. Yeah.
Okay, well, as long as everyone's hearing her, I guess
Yep.
they are.
Good.
So it's just, what the hell is this?
Can you hear me, boss?
Yeah, I'm hearing everything.
Yeah.
I'm seeing me. I'm seeing, Mark.
Yeah.
And I see a blank where you are. I'm seeing, the background behind there. What in the holy Christ?
That's weird. Well, it could be your
That's
personal confuser is.
Could be my computer being stupid.
My personal confuser.
And that's
Let
I'm
me
gonna.
come up with these
That's
things.
no. That's I'm gonna in text citation. That's Leo Laporte from Twit. So
Okay.
so he has his personal. He always calls them personal confusers. So yeah, I don't want to take
That's
credit
great.
from Leo. Yep, but that's
Random glitch indeed, Linrod. So what's going on?
okay. Let me get back to the StreamYard here because my sharing program, not my program I do the slideshow with, it's disappearing my mouse lately. I don't know what's going on. All right, share.
You guys, I think
Windows
his
update did
Astro
something.
City stuff is gorgeous, but her head is completely square, and I'm not trying to be political or get myself into trouble or not get myself into trouble. It's just her head is completely square, and so just looking at it from an art perspective, her head is square. She's SpongeBob Square Woman, Wonder Woman, and Chris Persia is going to head out. Canadians say that all the time. Sorry about that. Gonna head out.
Chris.
Need to get up early. Have a great night, y'all. I like how he
Take
used
care,
a little
buddy.
American y'all. Love you, Chris. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Be good, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all you do. Okay, before we get started, we'll go and end our poll now. How about that?
My
Before
personal
I forget.
confuser, Gene Roddenberry, JT Kirk. I gotta put that up on the marquee.
At 49 votes, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. All right. Ready? You hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you. Yep.
Well, you weren't answering. I'm like, are you? Maybe
All right, sorry. I was waiting for Raquel to answer.
Okay.
Don't blame me. Shin kicks.
Raquel.
Send Mark some shin kicks,
Ladies
please.
first.
49 votes. That's fitting. Let's see here. All right. The question was, who is your favorite member of the Fantastic Four? I'm not allowed to vote, of course. I'm not allowed to vote yet still.
I know how you'd vote, though.
At 51, I bet you don't. No, you do. At 51%. Hey, 51. Dude, 51, and it's the thing.
So there's no
How about
need
that?
for a recount. Yeah, because he got,
No, of
he
course
got more
not.
than half the vote. Yep.
Number one, easily in first place at 51%. It's the thing. But at least there's a three-way tie between because I love the Fantastic Four, so they're all beloved to me. I love them all. Between Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, and the Human Torch. That's just how it should be, I think. That's perfect. So 16% for each one of them. So a few people, love. They love Reed, Sue, and Johnny, and they should because they're beloved.
Equally.
Yeah, well, equally apparently. So, what are the? Isn't that crazy? The numbers, like you get the thing, and it's number 51. And we reviewed Fantastic Four 51 the other day, which was a thing comic.
Wow.
And then Reed, Sue, and Johnny all.
And 16 is 4 times 4.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I did that math in my head pretty quickly, huh?
Is it 4 times 4? Wow, and it's a 4. This is weird.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Did I say hello
4
to
times
Zakarot already? Hey, Zakarot.
Zakarot! Yes,
That's
we
what
did. He says, Raquel, now I have SpongeBob SquarePants song stuck in my head. I've actually never watched the show. believe it or not. I only know it from gifs.
She's back now.
Oh, there she's back. Yep. She never left my screen. Yep.
Weird.
I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome
I remember
back.
this.
Yeah. So I love me some open space. So of course I grabbed this when this came out. So it's number 0, which is fun numbering. So,
That's because of Wizard with their dumb issue 0 shit.
Well, no, this came out years later after. Yeah, they should have made it number 5. You're right, but number 0. Yep.
That's Wizard started that crap.
Yep. I don't know if I can zoom in. Can I zoom in on this? Probably not. But anyway, it just says it's very tough to read. But he was this is Kurt Busiek, and he's saying he was a sale manager at Marvel, and and he was editing Open Space, an anthology series of comics written by science fiction authors. So I'm sure Raquel would love this. I was on the lookout for new people, and since I had at least one fully painted story in each issue, I was particularly looking for painters. So he saw Ross's work in issue of Terminator: The Burning Earth, which Clobberin Times had mentioned.
Yes.
So yep. So he was.
So I'm saying his first work was Terminator.
Terminator.
Boys,
Yep, see?
can I interrupt for 1 second?
Sure.
Please forgive me.
Sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but JD Lewis is going to Poughkeepsie.
Good night, Jade. Oh,
And so he has to get up really early, and he says,
right,
good
JD.
night, everyone. Have a great
JD.
weekend, and sends his best. So good night, JD Lewis, and travel safely and have fun in Poughkeepsie.
why'd you say it wasn't Terminator? It was his first work.
No,
It
because
was.
I should have never doubted. No, because it was his first Marvel story. See, my memory is so cruddy. I
Yeah, he
was
did
always
Terminator
assumed.
for Aircell or somebody like that, or whoever it was.
Yeah. See, so I never doubt Clobberin Times anyone.
Yeah,
So,
no, dude. You know how fragile my memory is now. I could say, for example, I can name you my birthday, and you could say, no, your birthday is a different day, and I go, oh, maybe it is. That's shitty my memory, or what? I'm used as an example.
Yeah.
And I go,
Yeah.
oh, maybe it's not. After all this time, I thought it was that day. Then you say you cast the doubt. It doesn't take much for me to doubt my garbage, horrible memory.
Yeah.
I went shopping at the store yesterday. 2 days thinking about something I wanted to get. I went shopping. I came home. 8 hours later, I go, oh shit!
That's what I
now I'm
needed,
hungry. I don't have that. It's something I wanted to eat later.
Why
I'm
did
like,
I
oh,
go to
shit.
the store?
Is that why you're out of pop?
I
Is that
got
why you're
all
out of
kind of crap.
popcorn?
No, it was
tonight?
not. It was just something I wanted. Like it was something I want. I won't say what it was because I shouldn't be eating it. But it was something I was hungry, and I forgot the goddamn thing.
There were Hostess's cakes, right?
No.
Yeah, from
No.
If you must know, there were some kind of taquitos. Yeah, I was hungry.
Yeah.
Taquitos
I
are
got
so
some
good.
Great. Oh man, I got some great ones at Rouse's, our store here that I had the other night. Like I gotta have more of those, and so I thought, I'll go to the store and get me some, even though I probably shouldn't eat that sort of thing. And I get home and I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought about 2 minutes before I went there, because I spent all that time in the DMV yesterday. And then I get home, and after I did the show last night, I go, I'm hungry. Oh shit, I didn't get those.
Oh, that sucks.
That does
That
suck. I eat
sucks.
peanut butter and jelly. So my memory's fragile. I should.
Well, I have an
Question.
entire container of hella good dip and hell of a good dip and
Yep.
an entire family-sized bag of old Dutch Ripple chips. So I'm going to crush. I'm going to crush that that dip later on.
Nice.
I gotta make some eggs or something. All right. Okay. So
So he's writing. So that Busiek wrote summarized quickly. Yes, so he's writing for. He's got a story by Lawrence Watt Evans, and so he found someone to get in touch with Ross to illustrate Open Space number 5, the story for Open Space 5, and of course the series got canceled number 4. Of course, I love that series. So it got printed, and then he's talking about. He then showed Alex the samples around netting him a job working for Eclipse's Miracle Man. And then that samples traveled to Marvel's. And he did a job for Clive Baker's Hellraiser. And he worked a proposal which led to Marvel's, which led to Kingdom Come, and onward and upward. So this is his first Marvel story. And it's a cool sci-fi tale that's 12 pages. So I'll flip through it quick.
Cool.
But it's some really interesting sci-fi
That looks like
elements.
Nicole Kidman.
probably painted her from a picture. He did that a lot. This is what got him. I mean, it was just a different type of a. People thought, "Wow, it looks like a movie." I mean, yes, he used panel arrangement in this a lot, and it's not really cartooning, but it is, and it's graphic storytelling.
Yeah,
It's cool. It's neat. Stiff. It's
I love
different.
the ending to this story too. It's really good. Yeah. I mean, of course, you're fine. This is more almost looks a little bit watercolory. If I could,
It does. It's not the kind of
Mhm.
colors that you really see on
Yeah.
Marvels. And yes, Phantom Mounts, Fanty, yeah. DMV, nah, my memory was gone way before that. At least I got my driver's license renewed.
yeah.
So
And doesn't
I had to pay a
doesn't-
fine.
And I always thought this looked like
A
hardcore
fine for
Fenton.
what?
That's because I did it
Did
late.
you pay a fine for greatness? Did you walk
did
through
it
the
late.
door and they're like,
That's right.
that is the grand poobah
No.
of all of Geekdom?
No, I walked in and I said, "Oh my God, he's going to cause an earthquake with this big."
That's
Carcass.
not true.
They said that. I heard him. Doesn't
Doesn't that look like
tricks on me. That looks like Roger C. Carmel. That's Harry Mudd.
Doesn't it look like Harry Mudd? Yeah.
That does
I'm
look
telling
like
you,
Harry Mudd.
that's because he does
Yeah.
that all the time. He did Marvels, okay, and he made Mr. Fantastic like Russell Johnson, the professor from Gilligan's Island. He based Tony Stark on Timothy Dalton. He based all of Bolivar Trask on Boris Karloff. He based all the actors on all of his characters in Marvels, which was a great book, on actors. In fact, by the way, in Marvels, which was 1992 or 3, he based Professor X on Patrick Stewart, who was well known for Star Trek: The Next Generation at the time.
Who's Patrick Stewart?
Many years before he played Professor X. That's
You mean
it was
Poopy
Alex,
Stew?
right? Alex Ross is the reason Poopy Stew got that role. I'm not even kidding.
Hey, do you still have Poopy Stew in that trunk in your office? Kick that
No.
trunk, see if he's still there.
Oh, he's just a robot now.
Oh, and then the model for the girl is actually his sister, Geneva. I guess his name is Geneva.
Why are we
Interesting.
looking at Alex Ross garbage? I'm just messing with you. I thought you were talking about a Star Trek book.
Oh, I can talk about Star Trek. Yeah.
Holy mackerel,
No.
did you see the chesticles on that one?
What?
What?
did you
I
say?
didn't notice anything.
Too late now. You got rid of it. Hey,
You want me to go back?
yeah.
All right.
If it was testicles, it's worth it.
Chesticles.
You said
Here we go.
testicles.
Sure.
JT, wait.
Wait,
Go back. Go back.
All right.
That's so toxic.
We're not. Put
Toxic
it
male of you.
back.
That is
Put
so
it back.
toxic male of you. Oh yeah.
See? Chesticles.
Top cow. Yeah.
Yeah, Top Cow Comics.
Fathom. Yep.
I don't know if she's the top cow or the bottom cow, but those are some magnificent chesticles.
And
Raising
look.
Stars by Michael Straczynski. What now?
Yeah, I was just going to say exactly what you just said. Yep.
Yeah, I never read Rising Stars, but a lot of people liked it. So anyway, now I was just kidding. If you want to show more of that Alex Ross, I'll just
No, that's it. That's true.
Okay.
That's it.
I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Creator of Babylon 5.
Yeah.
So you read a Star Trek novel by some
Yeah, I did.
woman this woman who dared to write a Star Trek novel. I mean, you say she almost might have had a future writing Star Trek. Or
I
maybe a
think
past.
yeah, she would have a future with Star Trek. Yeah. So I read Vulcan's Glory because of course the strange.
Show the cover.
Yeah, let me grab the cover.
Show the
here.
back.
Let me grab. Well, I have it in the
Dave.
other room. But I'll just...
Dave! Long
That's
time
right.
no see.
That's true. That was Turner art, Dave. That's from the late Michael Turner on that cover, the Chesticles cover.
Back when you could draw that way.
But you could put that on a Matt Wells Wizard. You could put that on there.
Yeah. Where's her? We'll
Yeah,
show
while
the
you're
cover
talking
here.
about it, show them by the cover.
What is it with the
Yeah.
Probably
noisy
had-
traffic in my neighborhood tonight?
They probably have
What's going
multi-cover.
on?
I don't know.
People have spring fever or summer fever. They don't want fall to happen. Vulcan's Glory, a new novel by DC Fontana.
I wonder if my book has a different cover. It looks like my book has a different cover. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab it. I think it's on the desk. Hold on.
Yeah, yours has a different cover. Well, there were a couple of different covers. I mean, they did a lot of those Star Trek books had different covers. You know, they had no, that's the cover I saw though. Maybe you have a different one. Yeah, I know there's a different cover out there. In fact, you'll find it.
I never. Really
No,
got
that's the
into
cover
it.
I have. What a garbage memory. I just read it.
Okay.
Swearing off
Gee,
on
well,
you.
can we see the back? Where's the back? Where's
Let's
the
see
cover
what the-
back?
Well, I'll turn my camera on in a second, but let me see if they have the back.
Well, you
back
have
here.
to read the back. There it is.
Yeah, here's the back. Yep.
Oh, there
Okay,
you go.
read it.
Here's a
Yes,
very
yeah.
special Star Trek novel. Well, I can read the book too, even though I don't have my glasses on. From the woman consistently voted by fans as the favorite writer from the original Star Trek television series. DC Fontana, writer of such classic Star Trek episodes as Journey to Babel and This Side of Paradise, here brings us the never-before-told story of a very young Mr. Spock on his first mission aboard the USS Enterprise. You'll also meet Captain Christopher Pike and his enigmatic First Officer Number 1, previously seen only in the original Star Trek pilot, The Cage, as well as the ship's brand new engineering officer, Montgomery Scott. Vulcan's Glory is a tale of Spock's struggle to reconcile his many obligations, those forced on him by his Vulcan heritage, and those chosen by him upon his enlistment in Starfleet, to balance the wishes of others against the desires of his own heart. So-
Oh, Maddie's daddy's here.
Hey.
Thor in Vegas is here. He says he's just putting our beautiful little Maddie down to sleep. So he says, have a great stream. Good night, Steve.
Take care, Steve. So, so I love this book. And of course, the controversy over strange SNW with Spock. Of course, he's betting to Pring, and I think in 5 minutes within 5 minutes
Filth.
of some of the episodes,
Filth.
for ratings, right?
Filth. Filth.
And of course, a lot of people were thinking that and we've debated, Vulcans only had sexual
Your
relations
old
every
toys is
7
here.
years.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mark. Oh, your old toys is here.
Hey, your old toys. How's it going? So this book, what I loved about it, without too many spoilers, I'm going to throw this in the infamous box it's going up to since I read it. So I'll give you my copy.
What?
And you have to read. You have to promise to read it, though. Well, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to read it again. So, and I did buy it on, and I did buy it on Kindle anyway, because then it was easier for me to read.
So Maddie's daddy popped in. I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah, he did. Yep, Steve. Yep,
Oh,
Steve.
I think he's not in Vegas right now.
Oh, he's
I don't know.
not.
I don't know. Where are you, dude?
He
You
says
down
putting
here somewhere?
Maddie to bed. He said putting Maddie to
I think
bed.
he's
So have a great stream.
Closer to me now.
Good. Yep.
Somewhere not too far. Anyway, I don't
Have
know.
a
Give
good
me.
trip.
Let me
us
know if
when
you're.
you get where you're going,
Yeah.
and travel safe
If he's
because
sitting
you
here
have
in a
very precious cargo. We love beautiful little Maddie, and thank you for stopping in, Steve.
Holler at me later, but let me know what's going on, bud. Or tomorrow. Anyway, go ahead.
Yep.
Unclean, filth, lol.
Yeah.
Hey there, your
Well, I
old
can-
toy.
Well, I'll read
So do
what's.
what you gotta do.
I'll read
Sterilize.
I'll read the first page in the book, which is.
Yes,
Okay.
please do.
It's they have it on the intro on the intro here. And is this the first edition?
Does it say Once Upon a Time?
Yeah,
Once upon a time in a
Well, Star
land
Trek
far,
book
far
number
away.
44. Yeah.
Yes.
So here's the you have a difficult you have a way of asking difficult questions, Spock said. T'Pris nodded, quietly acknowledging the fact. So my parents said, and so said my husband, but now I am to sigh to pre aduna sepel Karan. Sorry, my Vulcan's not so good. For humans, a widow. For Vulcans, free to choose a new mate. She turned to look directly at him. Or a lover. That is a difficult question to consider. I am betrothed, Spock said softly. But not wed, she said softly. Not yet. Spock studied her for a long moment, considering what he knew of her and what he felt for her, the surprising emotions she called up in him. And he remembered what he knew of T'Pring and what he felt for her. The only emotions T'Pring brought forth in him were duty and obligation laid on him by others. Slowly he reached out his hand to T'Pring. Lightly, gently, almost fearfully, their fingers touched and caressed. So that's the page that they picked
That's
to
like
show.
second base for a Vulcanian.
Yeah.
What a cute little skanker Rooney. I hope she gets him.
So the relationship is really good in there. What I wanted to say too
I
is
want to read this.
they preserve canon in this book, because although you don't make T'Pring into the first episode of the second season,
Uh-huh.
that classic episode. What DC Fontana does in here too, Spock ends up. These are very, very minor spoilers in the beginning of the book. Spock ends up traveling to Vulcan, and of course, Journey to Babel. He says, I haven't spoken to my father in years, or 8 years,
Uh-huh.
and they preserve that in this book. They don't
It's
wreck.
not they.
Well,
not
DC. Well, no, DC Fontana. I'm saying, but
I know,
that's,
and I'm not trying to interrupt you for a stupid reason. It's to demonstrate what a great choice this book is that you've brought forward, because this is what science fiction people do. Science fiction people make sure their books contain, number one, science, and
yeah.
number two, they are capable of holding the story world together, to keeping all of the walls up in the story, and maintaining the world of pretend. So I love this, and now I'm all excited.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic book, and they preserve, as I was saying, that the meaning, and T'Pring is written so beautifully. Excuse me. And just totally in character. So when you read this book, when you read Spock's lines, you're picturing Leonard Nimoy delivering these lines. You're seeing Spock in your head. Pike is written really, really well. One thing that's interesting, when Spock gets the Enterprise, he goes to his quarters. He's got two, the classic 2-room quarters. It's not a small quarters, as Spock says, comfortable. And then when he goes to meet Pike at his quarters, he notices that Pike hasn't taken the 3-room quarters on the Enterprise reserved for the captain. He's taken a quarters equivalent to one of the officers' quarters, so he's equal to his officers. Unlike in Strange Nude Worms, where he's got a football field for quarters on the Enterprise.
Dumb.
If you've seen that picture, so
no, I've
that
not.
was an interesting thing.
But as we move backward, the ships would be smaller, like they were on Enterprise. We've got some comments coming up here. We've got Classic Comics saying Fontana was the lead writer on TOS. Well, not really. She did more to define these characters than almost anyone except perhaps Roddenberry. Well, there was actually a holy trinity there. Gene L. Kuhn, Gene Roddenberry, and DC Fontana. They really, together, they created an incredible writer's room. And obviously, DC Fontana, Dorothy, had a lot to give as far as Vulcanians went. She really helped to develop the lore for Vulcanians. And then, of course, Gene Roddenberry and Leonard Nimoy himself actually worked together to build the character of Spock. So Dorothy was quite special and quite wonderful. But Gene L. Kuhn and Gene Roddenberry, that they created that beautiful holy trinity. It was quite a wonderful, wonderful writer's room. And wow, it was great when it lasted, right? Or while it lasted. Yep.
So this book has they really get Pike's character, and of course, there's not you don't have anything other than Pike on in the Menagerie, and then later we got to see the first pilot episode, but he's written just exactly like you'd imagine him, and he has discussions with the doctor. It's just perfect. The dialogue, nothing's out of place.
Jeffrey Hunter is a very, very sexy, amazing captain. He's hot, like white hot, smoking hot, good looking guy. And you imagine him being a tough guy, and but he's not quite as intelligent as Kirk. And he's a bit like how could I describe him? He's a bit more like Indiana Jones than he is like Kirk, because they describe Kirk in the Bible as a walking stack of books, and of course we have that in the episode too. As walking stack of books, Pike, we see Jeffrey Hunter's Pike, and Pike has just been through a very traumatic war experience. It was extremely violent. He saw people die. Of course, Spock is injured, and he doesn't really know if he wants to see people getting killed anymore. And so, whenever I think of Jeffrey Hunter as Pike, I always think of the what's his name, Kurt Russell. He reminds me sort of like a Kurt Russell, where he's like really super manly, and obviously, though, Jeffrey Hunter's way better looking than Kurt Russell, but he has this tenderness to him where, he won't sacrifice it all. Kirk will, but he won't, and it's because of this incredible trauma that he's been through. And this was an amazing thing to do in 1963, to write this and then to bring it forward, like technically in 1964, because this is like back when people still called this sort of thing shell shock. They weren't even openly calling it in popular culture PTSD. So Pike is very interesting character. I've always really, really loved him. Clubby knows this. I'm completely fascinated by the Cage. It is my favorite of all Star Trek. So I am stoked to read this book.
Yeah. So there's what's other really interesting things about this. There's they deal with Vulcan history and culture, and the other thing, of course, number one, you find out is genetically engineered, and they have this in SNW, and they don't even, give credit to DC Fontana.
Oh no,
because that's the only place that's meant. She came up with that. If you watch The Cage, you have no idea that she's an alien, that she's an Allurian, if I'm saying it correctly, and you find out she's genetically engineered, and she was actually the number one person that year. So they said she would have always been called number one because. So there's a line with Pike, and saying that even if you're number one, my number one, she'll someday. She's always be number one because she was the number one genetically engineered person on her planet. She's the supreme.
Neat.
So she's and she deals with that and she grapples with that. There's kind of they hinted a romance with Pike, or some feelings between them, but she says, well, no one likes me because I'm perfect. Because she's too perfect, and she's almost Vulcanian in some ways with her mind, but that's all DC Fontana adding that history to the character, and of course at the end of the last episode of Strange New Worlds, which you did not see.
Stop bringing up the filth.
Well, I got to compare what they're inconsistent. So
wasn't that the impetus?
They have it. They have her.
This book is like you wanted to fact check their BS.
Yeah. So they have her arrested, and they say we don't allow genetically engineered beings in Starfleet. And of course, in DC Fontana is writing this, and everyone knows that she's genetically engineered, and they don't have a problem with it. And they would. You think Starfleet would actually come and lock someone up?
Yep, that applies to humans.
Yeah. And it's an alien, and that's their culture too. Their culture is genetic engineering on their planet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
that applies to humans. It's really stupid. These idiots don't know what they're talking about.
And so this book, handles that beautifully. The number one character is very well flushed out. Spock is, he's got a turmoil with T'Pring and his obligations, and Amanda's in the book, and trying to call out his human side, and
I want to learn more about this cute little Skankosaurus who's like, you're promised, but you're not married yet.
There were some great scenes between those two characters on it. I'm not going to say anything but that's what so Spock, but it's some of the stuff was left to your imagination, which is good. So they have some scenes, but DC Fontana in the book is obviously saying that you don't have to wait till Pon farr to have Vulcan relations, but they're also talking about how they join minds, and it's also a physical but also a mental act.
Yes.
And Spock is really drawn to this character, and it's really beautifully done. And it's and there's some great dialogue between Amanda and Sarek in the book, and I just can't recommend it more highly. So I think it's on you can pick paperback or $5.
Very interesting. I never got into the books because I always worried about the canon, right? And canon is a big, and there are lots of people who try and breach canon, and canon's been breached in film on set, and a lot of the time it got cut. It was just like, no, like that's going to ruin Star Trek. That doesn't work, and and so that kind of stuff gets cut. So I always worry about promoting these books, and I always worry about what is transpiring therein. So we'll see. Well,
it's DC Fontana, so that's my. I got him with Clobberin times. I'm like, yeah, this DC Fontana might be good for Star Trek, because
maybe she should write some Star Trek.
And I think they're pretty sure this is her only novel, but and this, and just it was handled beautifully, especially when you try to do a prequel.
What year was this written?
Let's click on the Wikipedia page, which is always
80,
correct.
Late 80s, mid 80s, late 80s. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see here.
I want to know if she
89. Oh, so pretty late, actually.
Wait. I just want to see background. Pocketbooks editor Dave Stern approached Fontana to write a Star Trek novel, and she proposed writing the story of Spock's first mission on the Enterprise, joining a crew led by Captain Christopher Pike. He was so cute. She described this as a pleasant experience, particularly working with Stern. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was that great series of pocketbooks that, back when Star Trek was much more popular, when
there was only real Trek.
Yeah, so this is book number 44 in the series. So, and then the next one they're advertising on the back page, Spock's World by Diane Duane, which is one of my other favorite books.
Yeah,
so that was a huge
Can you
deal.
scroll
That
down,
book came
please?
out. Sure, yep. I think it's only references here.
Yeah, I know, but that's the kind of thing that I'm interested in.
You're like, I know, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yep.
Yes.
So,
Masters, DC Fontana Writers Guild of America. Okay. Star Trek writing legend DC Fontana dies. Oh, okay. So this is all the footnotes.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about this external links? Can we get a look at these?
Let's see here. Yep.
What do you got going on here? Vulcan's Glory at Memory Alpha.
Yeah, I remember.
Whatever.
Alpha, yeah.
Review of Vulcan's Glory. Let's go there. Can we clickety click?
Sure. Yep.
Clickety click.
Yep.
Bob a trick. Okay. Lovely. I've never really felt too strongly one way or another about continuity. Okay, you can shut this off. That's good. That's all I needed to know about this person. This person
but this
does not care about continuity.
But it actually preserves continuity in canon, which is the crazy. They're saying they don't like it, but that was one of the things that impressed me.
Yeah, but what a nincompoop thing to say.
Yeah,
it's just I
agree.
You started a conversation by saying, I'm going to evaluate the pretend. Okay, before I evaluate the world of pretend, I just want you to know that the world of pretend, you can tear it all down and it doesn't have to make any sense. I don't mind. I'm a nincompoop. I don't care what she thinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
or
he
or she. I don't know.
Oh, so this is the re-release cover. Yep. So this is they brought it back out in 2006 for the
only thing
40th anniversary.
The fictional world together are the things you tell the reader about that world. And if you don't even care about that world enough or your reader enough to make sure that you have continuity so that world, all the walls in that world stay up and the person stays immersed in the story, then you are an effing idiot. I'm sick and tired of all these modern people saying all this BS about how continuity in canon doesn't matter. That's like saying like that like you have to maintain the pretend world. Like that's what continuity and canon are. They maintain the pretend.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and that's what
Raquel would not be a fan of Bob Haney. No, she wouldn't. We called him Mr. Continuity as a joke.
Yeah.
No, how I was gonna say, but that's... do you have to be where you tell people this is the pretend world, and then you're like, forget about all of that because I don't even remember it. I'm not even going to check my notes. Let's make a new pretend world. That's when you go, you know what? F you. Just F you. And walk away from that person because that person is a nincompoop.
And that's what this book did so well was, go back in time, which so many prequels screw things up. And, they've got Scotty's brewing engine room hooch. And, of course, it's the best engine room hooch in the fleet, right? Scotty's doing something. He's doing it right. So there's a whole fun, storyline with that. And,
the engine room's not a brewery, is it?
It's what?
The engine room is not a brewery, is it?
No, but he hides. He makes a still and he hides it in the engine room using
Well,
his
be
genius.
careful with those kind of things too, because remember there were some people who wanted to make Scotty into a drug dealer.
One boob grabber.
Yeah, but this was everyone, and the way she writes the book, everyone has. There's always engine room hooch, and people turn the other way, and it's a fun thing to make alcohol on the ships. You have a contest like who's the better hooch.
Oh, I don't know if I can do it.
You have to. I'm going to send you the book. You'll have
Scott
to read it.
Montgomery Scott.
He would make it's like like the guys in MASH have their own little stool going.
I know, but Jimmy is a war hero here. So.
But it also the story there's a resolution to that incident that makes sense.
Though.
That you gotta. It's his first. He's just the lieutenant out of Starfleet. So there's a. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin the story, but that.
But
that
I won't be
storyline has
pissed
a
off.
good resolution. No, because there's a good resolution.
Okay, all right. I just don't want to get pissed off.
Scotty could knock a few back.
Oh, he could more than knock a few back. Yeah.
And it's part of the story of what happens, and it's all tied in together, and of course he devises a way to make of course, and he's got his great grandfather's recipe from the Scottish Highlands.
I just don't believe Montgomery Scott, James Doohan, a war hero here in Canada, would break any law, especially a military law. I just don't believe that, but I'll give it a chance.
You got to give it a chance. Plus, it's like it's a known thing in the fleet that it's illegal, but it's ignored, like it's accepted. I'll just leave it at that. But
Classic comics.
It's green. It's green. I can buy Scotty. Sometimes not going completely by the book. After all, he takes a poke at a Klingon when he was told in his void trouble. He's an old pirate hub crawler, as he talked about. He's he's kind of had a wee vouch, her, but Dr. McCoy pulled me through. I mean, he's he goes out and gets in bar fights apparently. So I don't know, but I mean, if it's kind of in his youth, do it and then describe
or his downtime, as long as it's qualified to be in his downtime, because Jimmy different. is an actual war hero here in Canada, and that's a huge deal. We really love him a lot, and he would break the law. But if it's in his downtime, I'm okay with that.
And now, what gets me most about this book that no one seems to be bothered about, but me, and I love Dorothy. I don't think Vulcans would have sex other than procreation. I think
me neither.
Sex is illogical.
Sex is illogical.
They explain that in the book.
Okay.
So.
Well, we'll see.
So, am I going to argue with DC Fontana? I mean,
because if Gene L. Kuhn and Gene Roddenberry weren't there to hash out the ideas with her, and she just wanted to go her own way a little bit with the book, she's allowed to do that, but that doesn't necessarily make it canon. It's completely illogical to have sexual intercourse unless it is for procreation. And I love Brian Hepburn's comment here. Scotty, raising hell on shore leave is okay, though. Baby, I don't know who you are, but I sure like you, Brian Hepburn. I totally agree. Him raising hell in his downtime is just great.
Well, you get a good good explanation, to Spock and his.
I trust you.
It's very well done, and it's not graphic like it is on some other things I won't mention, and it's very tastefully done. And
I love you, but I don't trust you because I watched that stupid Sandman show because of you.
It's my fault. I didn't tell you to watch Sandman.
You were like, "Oh, it's on Netflix this weekend," and I was like, geeks, I'm gonna respect the geeks and go watch this. Give it a chance. I watch it. It's absolute utter shite.
But Clobby didn't watch the episodes, and I
punished myself. You a lesson.
I know.
Watch any geek stuff without talking to me first.
Well, this is what I'm saying. That's why when
I didn't say to watch
Mark,
it. I said it's airing.
Like, what?
I didn't say I can't wait to watch it.
That's true. He just said it. He just mentioned it happened.
Because I didn't see much fanfare.
But Mark, you're supposed to be my friend.
I gotta admit, though, I hate to defend Mark because it's more fun to pick on him. But there's no way either one of us would have suspected that you were going to watch that.
That's true.
I was shocked.
I gotta admit, if you told, because when you told me, if you said, "Hey, I watched Sandman," I went, "Oh shit, no, you didn't." Oh, I did. You? Why would you watch that crap?
Well, because you guys know that I love like classic gothic horror. So not gore, but like the feeling of the macabre, the mechanization, the sort of steampunk, the H.P. Lovecraft,
Well, sure.
the Mary Shelley, the Bram Stoker. I'm totally into that stuff. So I thought, Mr. Sandman. And I thought, this is going to be fun. Is this going to be the lore behind Sandman? Are they going to this might be fun? And of course, the opening, the first episode, it's so visually lush and engaging and glorious. And then after that, it's just like watching someone who's insane finger paint with their own
I can't even
feces.
type it right because it was so bad.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
The actor was actually decent as Dream, but they picked such a boring story, and I think LT said that in one of his tweets. I think it was LT. Just how boring.
Yeah, he says
boring. Because there was so many fantastical worlds and places they visited, and they're dealing with the gods, and there was so much mythology there that was so interesting, and there's some Shakespearean tales interwoven. And I thought the
Cain's
lead actor
killing
was good.
Abel every day in the dream world.
That's in
that is
that's
from
in
the
the
comics,
book.
so.
Yeah, it's in the comics. Yeah. So
Anyway.
of course, then we got Patton Oswalt as the Raven. Oh, just shoot me.
And Gaiman didn't come up with that either. That was in comics way before he ever wrote comics.
Yeah. So it's just in the end, it ended up being the most. The journey to hell was maybe interesting. This one episode where Death is walking around, taking the souls, and there's one really touching scene where there's an old gentleman playing violin, and he looks at her and he says, "Not now. I want more time." And the actor was really, really well, did it very great, nice delivery. And he's like, "No, I'm sorry, it's your time." So he gets up and he looks and he sees his dead body there. He's like, "I look so empty and dead. What happens next?" She's like, "You'll find out." So then he walks in the room, and then you hear wings flapping, angel wings flapping. So there's more to this, dialogue to the scene was nice. So there was some nice.
But it's generally I would avoid it, like maybe bubonic plague. Don't go near it. Even the person who plays Death is so cheery. She's like Mary Poppins, and it's ridiculous. It's like she gives this little speech about how she wants to make people happy when they die, and meanwhile the guy who is supposed to be in charge of dreams, good, bad, ugly, glorious, sexual, all that stuff, all of it, he's just like dreary, and he behaves as though he were Death, like he is the person to guide you.
That's kind of the comic, though, I have to say. So
then the comic is kind of
Yeah. One thing about Dorothy Fontana before you get off on that, because this show, you can because I did this while you were all doing this.
What, honey?
Did you know something related to Jack Kirby month and Dorothy Fontana
together? Wow.
In a sense.
Sure.
She wrote an episode of the late '90s cartoon The Silver Surfer.
Oh wow! Actually,
Very
I
cool.
knew that.
Actually,
I think I read that in her biography somewhere.
So a Jack Kirby creation. I love that cartoon. Your favorite buddy, the Boo Grabber, also wrote one. A lot of great science fiction stories.
Good old Harlan.
On the show. Yep, she wrote the one called Forever War with Adam Warlock on it. Very different Adam Warlock. But
good old Harlan, let me test you for breast cancer, Ellison.
Indeed. So I just thought I'd shout that out since it is Jack Kirby, but the slight tie-in to talking about and I love that cartoon. I gotta go watch it again for the silliest time.
Yeah, that was really good. Yep.
Anyway, you may continue in your abuse of that garbage show or whatever.
No, well, I'll show what I have to show.
Yeah, we could get that ready. Why bother?
There was no way I would ever watch that show.
I wish you'd watch that instead of Sandman, because at least it'd be fun beating up on it.
Do you want me to watch it?
No. But I'm saying if I had, I would not subject you to that. But I'm saying if I'd had my druthers, rather than you watching and having to suffer through Sand them, I'd get you, I'd had you watch They Them Hulk, but I still don't want you to watch that either. It's trash. It's poop. So no.
The thing is that I saw the CGI for the She-Hulk character, and it didn't look anything like this like it didn't look anything like what you guys showed me. So let me bring people up to speed in the chat, because there are lots of new people here. I'm not a geek, okay? I'm a nerd. I'm an academic. I don't read comics. I don't play games. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. I'm a nerd who loves Star Trek. And these guys bring me up to speed on all this geek stuff. So when I first saw She-Hulk, I was like, wow, this is really dumb. Because I sort of felt like like that they were trying to say that women had to be a castrated male. And so when I'm saying that in a very academic sense for how women conceptualize strength. And so for me as a social scientist, I find it interesting and somewhat insulting. Like, we can't just take for granted that a castrated male or a hyper masculinized woman is a part of our emancipation process, or a part of feminism, or even a part of the female identity. Is physical strength a part of the female identity? These are things that people on social media take for granted. And as a scholar, I don't. I question what people conceive as what they think is feminine and not. So I have deeply philosophical and intellectual questions about creating something like She-Hulk. Like, I think you should conceive of something for women, by women, that exemplifies women in all their forms, strengths, weaknesses, and in all of their self-conceptualizations of womanhood. So don't get me wrong here. I'm not just being a jerk. So when I saw She-Hulk and I said all of these things to the guys were like, okay, I respect that. Can we show you some really beautiful artwork, and can we show you some really beautiful versions of the She-Hulk? So I looked at the beautiful versions of the She-Hulk, and I was like, okay, guys, I sort of see what you're saying. That maybe this is good to be one version of what we can see, what we can think, of what we can feel. And so I was willing to give it a pass. But I don't like that kind of thing. I just don't enjoy that sort of thing. So when I saw the CGI, now I'll bring you up to speed present. When I saw the CGI in the commercials, I thought it was absolute shite. Like, really, really bad. Like, she didn't look real. And you could tell that it wasn't real. It was almost like you were watching an adult cartoon. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, that's the least of the problems is the CGI.
Yeah, at least Dadman and Minimus are here. Hey.
Hey guys.
Dadman.
And Dadman's got a new channel out too, so let me post his link. But
Dadman channel. Yeah, the show's crap. I mean, it's not even worth talking that much about. But
it was
JT Kirk has to leave. JT Kirk, I love you. Good night, honey.
Good night, buddy. What is it, Mark?
I was gonna say, it was boring the last episode too. I mean, not good. It was just
last week was annoying and cringy. This week it was boring.
Yeah, and she's wailing about being woe is me woman. She's like, oh, look at those guys never had to suffer. And like, here she's a lawyer who was probably earning six figures.
She had a big ass house.
Big.
I don't know what she was worried about. Since she was getting poor, and when she got fired, she's going to be poor now. That house
was a massive house.
No, you got a little bit of money,
a couple $1 million house, and of course she's got superpowers. She's one of the most powerful beings on the planet, if not the universe. The 7-foot tall woman who could, basically do whatever she wants. And she's, and of course they have a scene of it's a boardroom of all just guys laughing, and she's making fun of them like they never had to work hard or do anything. It's like, how do you know?
Of course not.
Why are you assuming? Because, the men bad and
men are garbage.
Yeah, so it's that's what's just ridiculous dialogue and virtual signaling garbage.
This week it wasn't quite as much of the cringy, messagey stuff that was there, since her typical attitudes there. Yeah. She's really nuts. Instead of calling her the Savage She-Hulk or the Sensational She-Hulk, all these different titles they've had for her, hyperbolic titles for her comic, this should be called the Insufferable She-Hulk. And
Oh, sorry. Claude just posted that's Cousin Larry from Perfect Strangers. I was wondering. I know that actor.
I was trying to figure that was Cousin Larry.
There we go.
That guy barely looked like Jesus. God.
Well, it's old now. Yeah.
I was wondering who the hell that guy was. I know that guy from something. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, wow. Again, her family is annoying. She's annoying. You know,
yeah, the son is annoying
just
on the
sus.
show of her family, and
Her
yeah, but
brother,
I mean, how
whatever.
cool is that to get turned into the She? And she can control her transformation too, not like the Thing, right? You know, so how good does she have
That
it,
all
right?
sound like what would happen to David Banner.
It's
Yeah.
basic, yeah, or Bruce Banner even because he's really Bruce Banner. David's only the TV show, but I hear you. And
Yeah, well, that's the
I
only
know.
Hulk
I
I
know.
know. David, right? David Banner
Yeah.
is what I grew up with in the
Right, the TV
70s
show.
and part of the 80s, I think.
Yeah, Bill Bixby, sure.
Bill Bixby, yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Bixby and
Right.
the marvelous human being there, Lou Ferrigno, I think his name.
Bill
Yep.
Bixby played David Banner, and Lou Ferrigno played the Hulk.
Yeah.
And Bixby's terrific on that show. But as a young geek, I hated that they changed his name to David. I'm like, why are you doing this? But anyway,
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well,
then,
that's the Hulk I know, and of course that Hulk is, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry, and it took a lot to rile him, but yeah, being able to control it, it sounds like there's nothing to it.
yeah. Remember Hungry Boy when he was Bob Banner at first?
yeah.
Bob Banner and Bruce Banner and all over the place. But yeah,
So I guess his name is Robert Bruce David
that's his
Banner.
name. Robert Bruce Banner's his name, but they were calling him Bob Banner at first, and then he was Bruce, and that's true. Network executives actually thought the name Bruce sounded to that what Minimus said. I'm not going to say it.
Oh, okay.
And that's for real. Yeah, that's for real. Yeah.
They did.
Oh, is that a fact?
I mean, which is
Oh,
stupid.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
you got
yeah.
Bruce Wayne, Bruce Lee. That's pretty.
What? Yeah, that's
wrong
weird.
with that name.
Yeah.
But they were morons. Anyway, but so the show this week was. I mean, you can't get more annoying and horribly cringy than that first episode. So the second episode, it was really short. It was her whining and complaining. It was bored. Nothing happens. I mean, nothing. I mean, zero.
Yeah.
Not a damn thing. And see, this is now they've already said, look, try to give them a little bit of fairness going that they have said it's a comedy. It's Ally McHulk and all this stuff. I called She-Hulk attorney at law and all this kind of horse hockey. Well, you know what? Fine, but you're not even funny.
And, that's the problem.
You make everything a comedy in your stupid Marvel, stupid ass universe. Anyway, so it was had no story. They're setting it up again. Look, the idea of a law firm that handles superpowered people in and of itself, even for a lighthearted comedy, is fine if it's funny and you'd make it work. But these writers don't know how because they're terrible, and it's just not good. Nothing.
Seems very limiting.
Right, but I mean,
it seems like a very limiting
concept.
If they really wanted to do something as authors, as writers who were using this idea of this hyperdidacticism and this hegemony in the sense of critical theory, why not have her work, pro bono? And have her work with impoverished people, have her work with, sort of like the Equalizer, going out and finding people who have been wronged and writing it. And if the law won't write it, she could write it with her superpowers and make her transformation secret. But I guess this all sounds far too interesting. So they decided to do Ally McBeal instead.
Well, Paul Chato did, and he's a pretty cool dude. He did a video talking about fixing She-Hulk because this guy's he's been in Hollywood and stuff like that. He was on Paulie's show the other day. He was on Midnight's Edge today, or the other day, I think. Cool dude, hangs out with Tom, loves that. And a very funny guy. He's a really amazing individual. He's got a video where he talks about how they could fix the show and make it funny and make it this and the other because it's not, it's just so far you've had one super cringy, annoying, really piece of garbage first episode and a second episode that is so bland and boring. With some annoying shit in it, but mostly just dull.
Yeah, and of course, Bruce had a horrible upbringing with his father, all the abuse he suffered.
No,
that's why psyche.
She suffered infinitely more than him. She's got catcalled in the street, remember?
Yeah. So that's what's ridiculous. She's almost looking down on Bruce. Like, I've got this whole thing all lined up. And of course, she gets fired from her job because they don't want to have the She-Hulk at their law firm, which is ridiculous in and of itself. Why wouldn't they want the She-Hulk then? And then, of course, she goes on a diatribe like, I don't want to be superior. Do the Avengers get paid? Do they have health care? Meanwhile, she's got a multi-million-dollar mansion.
By the way, that was a dumb line because yes, they do.
They do get paid, yeah. So they do get paid.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know. I just don't think that like a lot of people who work in Hollywood, many of them have not even finished junior high school. When you read their biographies, many of them, like we call it junior high here. I guess that would be like grade 9, grade 10 for you folks. But in the United States, and I'm not sure abroad, some places they go to grade 13 and so on and so forth. But these are not people who have studied who have studied social science at a university level. Many of them haven't even finished high school, let alone to be doling out graduate theory and trying to shape society and ideology. I just think that it's not really their place, and the fact that it's being orchestrated by a corporation is incredibly problematic. And I don't understand why people think that this is a good idea. Like when I think of that She-Hulk character, the way that you guys have described that She-Hulk character to me, I think that she ought to be concealing who she is. And I think she should be working, it's okay if she works as a lawyer, and that she works for the poor and the downtrodden and people who have gotten a raw deal. And when that can't be satisfied with the law, that she goes out and she takes care of it as a superhero. I think that's good. And from what you guys have told me, she breaks the fourth wall in the comics. So she breaks the
Yes.
fourth wall. That should be the place where that comedy transpires. But the thing is that this is the way corporations are moving now. They want to use different types of IP that people gravitate towards, like the superhero genre, and then they want to collapse all genres into it to get the biggest audience possible. So instead of writing a really great gothic novel and turning that into a screenplay and then having everyone say, oh, that's the best gothic film they've ever made, that's beautiful, they're not doing that anymore. Now when you sit down to a movie, the movie has to not only be hyper didactic and hegemonic toward the bourgeoisie and this idea of people who haven't even graduated high school teaching the world critical theory and shaping their ideology, but we also have to have this sort of idea that it has to be a comedy, it has to be a drama, it has to be for the girls, it also has to be for the kids. So it's got to be a rom-com, it's got to be a drama, it's got to be action, it's got to be it's got to be all these things. And unfortunately, this is unrealistic. This can work one or two times, but this won't work on an ongoing basis, because if something is everything, then something is nothing. Because if it appeals to all psychographics and all demographics, it loses its specialness, and its audience no longer has like a relationship with it. People like superheroes because of what superheroes do and how they work. You can't just turn it into all the genres to try and get everyone you can. And I mean, I know why they're doing it. Half the population is women, and they want women, and they want women to like comics. But I just don't know if they do. And I know I'm sort of ranting here, and I'm going to shut up in a second. But, like I'm being told all the time that women really love science fiction. Well, I can tell you from the demographics that I get from and the analytics that I get from social media on my sales, like 80% of the people who buy my stuff are men, and the others are not declared. So it could be like, you don't know what they are. Do you know what I mean? Like it could be like a mom buying it for her son or whatever. But the demographics for me are really, really steep. Generally speaking, for me in my case, and I would like to see some more research on this. Like women don't read what I write. Men read what I write. Men really like science fiction. And I think there are some really nerdy girls out there and some really geeky girls out there that like science fiction, but I don't think it's the vast majority. And what really proves this is that they've had to turn comic books, which is the original source material, into a romantic comedy. Otherwise, women won't watch it. So I mean, what are we saying here? Like, what are we trying to prove here? We're trying to prove this hegemonic device, this rapid dominance over another social group or over another idea, so that the corporations can rake in money. So they think that they've raked in all the money they could from men, and now they want to do it to women too, using the same IP, using the same ideas recycled over and over and over again to not spend a lot of money and maximize profit. I see it all very clearly, and I wish the public saw it more clearly, because it's really contrived and really it's bad. Anyway,
I wonder
sorry,
how
guys.
many women are watching this, or men even. But this
Yeah.
last episode was just so damn boring. That's its greatest sin. It was just, you watched it, and of course then they have the minor spoiler warnings. I don't know. The show is pre-spoilered, as Clobberin Times likes to say. The Abomination was in Shang-Chi, and then he was also in Doctor Strange. He's in a Fight Club, and of course, She-Hulk's got to defend Emil Blonsky, who's the Abomination, who now can become a human. I thought it wasn't the Abomination stuck as the Abomination, which is one of the.
Yes, I don't get this. Is just
So that was one of the horrible.
I guess, but it's dumb.
That
And
was one of
wasn't
the.
he injured so bad that he had to become the Abomination?
Yeah, and then he couldn't change. But yeah, so he was stuck as the Abomination, which is part of the tragedy of
We have
the
bad
character.
people.
Yep. So we
I
got
got him.
the mods will get him. Yep. And so they, and of course he's doing haiku now, and he's all reformed, and he's going to escape. So I mean, I don't mind the comedy. She-Hulk was broke the fourth wall, and of course when she breaks the fourth wall, this episode is not even funny. So that it's not good. And of course Jennifer Walters, if you know the character, was very insecure about herself, so she loved being the She-Hulk, and it was empowering to her. And who wouldn't be if you could turn her into a 7 foot tall person who could press.
She started staying that way. She eventually
she stayed as
she got exposed to some more gamma or what, and she was able to stay that way.
Yeah, so it's just so far a big disappointment. Of course, and they throw in, and they throw in their ideological barbs, and then it wasn't as bad in this episode, but you notice them too. And then in the end, she's moving TVs, and she's not likable. And I think the actress is a good actress, but
she's an idiot.
She's.
My offspring used to watch a show called Lizzie McGuire.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's a Disney show. Yeah.
So my offspring liked this show because it was very clever. So you had this drama about this young woman, and she would break the fourth wall, but in a much different way. It would be in this sort of avatar, this cartoon character that would appear on the screen. And when I looked at it, because as a parent, I make sure that I look at things to make sure that they're good. I thought that was a wonderful idea. And so when you guys were explaining the She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall to me, I sort of thought it was like that. But if it's just constantly the Ally McBeal thing, head desk.
Iron Man was great in Ally McBeal, though.
What?
Iron Man was great in Ally McBeal, Robert Downey Jr.
He was on that?
Always on that, yeah, and he actually, what a voice! He always got a fantastic.
Oh
yeah, he was good on that, yeah. But I think that's when he had his final. He got kicked off the series for his problems.
No, I didn't know he was on it.
I'm glad that he's better now. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Minimus is saying, I thought Ed Norton was a better Bruce Banner than Mark likes at Ruffalo.
I do too.
I agree too. Yeah.
I totally agree. When they did the Edward Norton thing, I actually watched that one. Like, I don't remember much about it because you guys know I don't really like that sort of thing. But the Edward Norton thing did remind me of the Hulk that I watched on television.
Even had Lou Ferrigno in it for a minute.
Yeah, and I also I also like the fact that the Edward Norton thing made more sense. Like the David Banner was this small, research-oriented scientist. He's like very bookish. He wore very frail glasses. He was a slight man, and so to become this Hulk, literal Hulk. So the thing that I also liked about Edward Norton is his stature, the stature that he brought to the character, and the sort of bookishness and the seriousness. The Mark Ruffalo guy doesn't appear to be this, a serious character that I believe. The guy belongs in a rom-com, and it doesn't appeal to me. So great comments. Minimus, love it.
Yeah. See, Brian, I didn't like Eric Bana. Of course, I thought that Eric Bana, to be fair to Eric Bana, his movies was garbage. But Ang Lee Hulk, which I hated. Orville Nation, what's up, PJ?
Hey, PJ!
So much. Great to see you, man. And for the $5 super chat, thank you so much. You're too kind, buddy. He says absolutely everyone loves Clobby. I doubt that, but thank you. That I'll take it anyway. That's why he gets so many porn bots in his chat. Well, yes, the porn bots do love me. Hey, look, and I've tried to tell them to call me after the show.
They never do.
Yeah. But
no, they
for
do.
some reason they're not interested.
No, they call me after the show. I'm just saying, don't bug me while I'm doing the show, I guess.
Okay. Brian, I respect your opinion.
Thanks, PJ.
So far, you've had some like really, really interesting things to say, and I love what you have to say. So keep those comments coming. Even if we don't agree on everything, like we're agreeing on like 98%, and I love your comments. So keep them coming.
Thanks, PJ. And no, I appreciate. It's good seeing you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Good old PJ. No, Brian. I mean, Bana, I guess it's not Bana's fault. But it's sort of like something like Raquel was just saying. I buy Norton as more the bookie, like scientist, nerd, like Bruce Banner type.
Yep.
But Bana is more like I don't know. That's the kind of guy I would see more as an action hero type. I mean, I don't know if he's done that many. Now, it's not his fault that he was in horrible garbage like that Ang Lee Hulk movie or the horrible 09 fake trash. He's a good enough actor, but he's not to blame for how bad the Ang Lee Hulk movie is. But Bill Bixby was fantastic, Brian. I'm with you there. Mm-hmm. Even though he wasn't really the Hulk, he was more like the incredible social worker.
Yeah,
he would go all over the place, and he would walk into a new. And that was so 70s, by the way, because you could just wander in anywhere you want all around the country. And you could get a job. People will pay you in cash. You can wait for a while. And then he'll Hulk out because something crappy will happen. But then he'll be kind of okay. He will continue to help these new friends of his wherever he is. Yep. He'd solve their problems at the end by hulking out one more time. Then he's like, 2 Hulk outs of my limit. I got to move on now.
Yep.
Yeah. I love it.
Bixby was great.
We used to have a show on in Canada called the Littlest Hobo. And it was like a husky. And huskies are known to wander. No matter how much they love you, they wander. Like they'll dig out of your yard and they'll take off on you. Yeah, huskies are not loyal to one person.
Friend who had a husky, they kept trying to dig out of the.
They want to go everywhere, and so there was this Canadian show, very very Canadian, very low budget, called The Littlest Hobo, and that's exactly what he was like. He was like Bill Bixby. He would move from town to town, solving problems for people, and it's such a cool idea. Like it's a wonderful idea. The She-Hulk thing, though, the Ally McBeal thing, that's a head desk.
That Bill Bixby show was The Fugitive. It was just The Fugitive, but it was the Hulk. You familiar with The Fugitive?
Yeah.
The old TV show, not the remake movie, which was
honey, I'm hearing you, and you're making some good points.
David Jansen. Yeah. And yes, it was the Fugitive.
Yeah.
Same premise, but hey, again, a premise that could not work today. You couldn't do it. Yeah. Technology, but at the time, 60s and 70s and things like that, it worked. It was the world was a different place, and he was he would go around. What that was like, though, as a kid who loved the Hulk, when I saw they were doing a TV show, I was so excited. And then
when you got that, you're like, what?
But he's not. He's just saying, he's not saying Hulk smash. And he's not throwing tanks around. I didn't understand why. I just wanted, I wanted the comic book. He's not fighting the Abomination. Where's Thunderbolt Ross?
Yeah.
Hulk smash.
Where's
Bobby smash? If I don't get,
what's he doing?
I believe Clobby's first word, and I'm not joking with anyone. I hope he doesn't mind that I say this on air, but I believe, if I recall correctly, when we had a conversation a very long time ago, maybe 2 years ago, his first word was Batman.
That's a
so
fact.
This is a kid who loved this sort of thing. He is hardcore from day one.
Look, Adam West Batman show was in its first year when I was born way before it. I'm just saying, I was about like a year and a half or so when that show came on. That's how freaking old I am. And yes, I'm told by my parents many times. I've been told by them that Batman was my first word because that song, Batman. I was saying Batman, 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 with a towel as my cape, Running around. I was Batman, like about a zillion other kids who were inspired by that show.
Love watching that show.
So-
I was born 4 years after you, and that show I remember. That's one of my earliest memories too, of watching TV shows. And I remember I always mention that. Robin, they've got to go get a villain, go a block in the Batmobile, and Robin doesn't put his seatbelt on. And old chum, you realize you have to buckle up. You have to wear your seatbelt. But Batman, we're only going 1 block. It doesn't matter. You always should put your seatbelt on in the car. So I was yelling at my mom, and I'm like a 4-year-old, I guess, at this point. Like, Mom, why aren't we wearing seatbelts? Because the car doesn't have any.
Yeah,
I'm like, but Batman says we should wear seatbelts. She's like, well, he's probably right, but we don't have any seatbelts.
I don't even think we had a seatbelt law here until like 1990. Like
that's about around that time. Wagnar's
yeah, right.
gone.
And guys, Wagner.
Good night, Wagner.
He's got to take off. He says, I have to get up early, so goodbye, everyone, and see you all later. Wagner. Thank you for being here.
Before you go, I can see that. Yeah, I got to show that again quick.
Holy
and I got some
cow,
comics
that's
to show.
green. What's going on?
That's just the way they painted him. Yep.
Why is he green?
He's Kermit-like here, but that's
his Hulk thing.
His Hulk thing. Yep, that was the artist's choice to do that. So
well, that artist needs shin kicks. He's not green.
So that's my Diamond Select statue.
Oh, Diamond Select.
Yep. So that's let me get my mic over to the other desk here. So here's we showed this on Clobberin Times. I'll just show we did the review on the Clobberin Times review. So this is obviously based on this is of course the issue we reviewed. So here's my copy of
Fantastic 451. We reviewed this Monday night. We reviewed one of the greatest Jack Kirby's FF issues of them all. Fantastic Four number 51.
And then I printed these on my large format printer, so I did 13 by 19 printouts. Let me flip the camera here.
What's wrong with Restless Leg Spider-Man?
Spidey, wake up.
What are you doing? Get Restless Leg Spider-Man going. Come on, man. These are the joys of your office that I enjoy. Why are you taking away my joy?
Sorry, no joy in Mudville. So anyway, so this is and I'll show. I got the new comics I got today to show. Hungry Boy's gonna like some of my
crap.
hope. Well, it's a new shipment, we'll say. So, so here we got. But that's just wanted to show that statue again quickly for anyone who hadn't seen it. Let me carefully take this off so I don't break him.
You didn't even have Spidey in the sun. I know he's solar powered.
Come on, Spidey.
What the heck is going on
here?
here?
Let me put this overhead light on.
Put the light on him. That boy needs to dance. That is restless leg Spider-Man. He has restless leg syndrome. Poor guy.
Poor guy. Yep. So here was one of the new comics that I got today.
Ooh, Micronauts.
That's not new.
I know it's not new. That was a tease. That was a bad tease.
Number 2, dude, of the new series, though.
Of the new series, yeah.
Series, I mean.
Yeah. So I had. Let me take these posters down so we can.
Are you eating Tootsie Rolls, Captain?
Why do you ask? Yes, I am.
I knew it.
Well, Tootsie Pop, not Tootsie Roll.
Well, you know what I know, but
no,
you knew what I meant.
Of course.
Let me turn this light back off.
That's weird looking there. That's Micronauts.
That's new Micronauts. I got to complete the. I have to complete my collection, so you got to have every issue.
There's an old saying: you don't gotta do nothing but die and pay taxes.
And that series only lasted 4 issues, so.
Look at this minimalist. With solar power comes great booty shake responsibility. Lenrod, shake, 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 shake your booty.
I love this cover, so I had to buy this. Yeah, this is
IDW.
That's a great cover. Yes,
Oh,
that's the Croyer toy.
wow. Go Croyer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, and, you know, these.
Hey, you
I've
see
read
that, by the
these.
way? Minimus will paint that thing statue for you, and he's good. Too.
I will. He'll fix it. Yeah.
Oh, Minimus
Same
is beyond good. Minimus
Well, I
is
might take you up on that
a
offer. Yep.
seriously talented individual.
I'll tell you how he, when I broke my Human Torch, a Bowen statue, he took
fixed
not only
it, right?
fixed the statue, he painted him because I was always kind of, he's orange. It kind of bugged me because he's orange, and he painted him red like he's freaking supposed to be.
Yeah, you should send your moss thing to Minimus and turn it into the thing.
Yeah, that was you know, one thing I noticed about that, other than the size of the thing's head on there, yeah, was that color was off. I don't know if they were trying to, you know, say it was in the rain. Now here's another. This is for Dad Man.
Florida Man.
Florida.
By the great Mike Barron.
Yeah. So I think
It's
it's safe to show.
hysterical. Oh, there's some tuchus.
Yeah, you're allowed to show tuchus. But yeah, so Florida Man. So actually, this shipment got lost. And
that's not tuchus. That's the other way, and it's not as pleasant. Look at that stomach.
And so someone
Florida
out there
Man.
is enjoying
Florida
my
Man.
shipment of comics because
Does whatever a Florida can.
I had to buy these on eBay because I wanted to get this one. So
did somebody take your order?
Well, what happened was I had the tracking. It said, you know, it went to, Postal Service facility. Then they had tracking for a few days and it disappeared. So someone out there is enjoying my Florida Man comics. So
those dirty, rotten scoundrels.
So I had to buy that on Fleabay because the price of that book is going up now too. So
look at how brown your hand is. How many hours did you spend on the beach?
A lot, yeah. I had to read that book.
You're brown, man. Usually, you look like liquid paper, and now you're like brown.
So here's that's a cool cover from Arcanauts number 6. You know, this is new stuff.
IDW
so it's mostly new. Yeah, well, IDW did a series, got canceled, I think, after 10 issues.
And then there's an Image one there.
And
I don't
then
like modern covers much.
This one is cool because this is the toy.
I don't like any of them. I think they're all boring.
That one's awesome because that's
when
the
they put
original
the toys
toy.
on there, that's kind of fun. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, look at those pylons. You can't park there. Sorry,
that's not a very good cover. Yeah, that's not so good. I just was, you know, that.
I know you want to keep that collection going with Micronauts going on.
Yeah, there's not that many of those.
Do you have every issue of the first series?
I want to get my
gold
the
keys. First and second. Yep.
I want to complete my gold keys, and I want to complete my Marvels, and I want to complete my
gold keys.
DCs.
That's a tall order right there. Yeah, and the Marvels not so much. The
gold keys are going to be hard to finish, but I need to do it.
Mm-hmm. We'll work on that.
Star Trek #1 gold key. The price has gone way up. So
how much is it now?
I think it's like $700 or $800. I think.
I just about dropped the F-bomb.
That's all right. You can do that.
Yeah.
700 Shimolians?
I think. Well, it depends on, you know, it all depends on because it's Star Trek and it's #1 and it's everyone loves Star Trek.
Why.
It all depends on the condition. Well, you asked. I had to answer. I mean, and then this is Fortnite, so it's got a code in there. So as you're playing the game, you can get fix the lights. It always gives you the glare there. As you're playing the game, there's a Fortnite code, which I won't show. Of course, I use the code, so it doesn't matter. And then you get special skins and stuff in the game. So that's been a hot comic. So that's how they're selling comics now. So they're pairing the top video game. The first series they did a DC Batman one. It wasn't so bad. So this one's just with the Marvel characters. So, but then of course I'm like I got
Sid's got to go. Sid,
good night, Sid.
Warren, he's got to go. So Sid, thank you for joining us. I hope you had a good time tonight. See you again.
Take care, Sid.
Good night, Sid. Yep. And of course we have the Gorn sighting because you can't have an official stream without the Gorn.
That's one of those stupid things.
Oh, that's a beautiful rendition of the Gorn.
No, that's a stupid.
I love that one.
One of those stupid thingamabobs. What are they called? Just bang that thing's head on the desk.
Funko
Pop, yeah. You know what Funko
gonna
rhymes with, right?
Khan's gonna beat him up. Yep. But
Did
yeah,
you
no,
just make Khan headbutt a giant corn head?
yes, I did. Yeah.
Mike Barron's Florida man.
Yeah.
And never forget the face.
Here's the copy I'll send you that.
Oh, gorge, gorge, gorge.
Yeah, you have to read it, even though Scotty makes liquor in it.
Oh,
See,
well,
see now
that's
we talk,
not the only thing I object to. I also object to the illogical sexual intercourse betwixt two Vulcanians, and also one is kind of a skankaroony. So we'll see.
Yeah, why would
Look,
everyone
now
wanna
of
have
course we get
sex
the
with-
stupid bots.
Yeah, because we said Gorn.
Somebody got him this time. I got the last two, but somebody must have got this.
Thank you, Wrenches.
Yep.
Whoever got that
Kal-El
one, thank
got
you.
him. Thank you, Kal-El. Yep.
Kal-El, of
Cal.
course. Kal-El's Quick Draw McGraw.
But Florida Man looks like a fun read. I got to read that.
Yeah, Florida
tonight.
Man looks fun. Although if I were that lady and I was underneath Florida Man on his crocodile, I would not have that look on my face. I would not be like, gee.
Alligator in this case.
Oh, is
But
that an
she's-
alligator? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
But she's
crocodiles
Florida
don't
lady.
exist in America and the United States. Only alligators.
Oh, there are only alligators?
Yeah, I don't think we get crocs here. That's in
Oh.
other countries.
Crocodiles
isn't
are
it?
freshwater and alligators can do both, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Just really big. And I've already got enough to deal with here living in Alberta. Bears, cougars. Hey,
think-
Larry's here.
Larry.
Hey, Larry.
I think there's some kind of weird conspiracy going on with crocodile or alligators, because I can't pull up like Ask Book or Twitwat without seeing or Instagram, whatever, without seeing alligator videos, like 100 of them. I mean, everybody's going around messing with alligators. I think alligators are up to something, because everyone's filming alligators doing stuff. And I'm telling you, just like a few years back when they made that piece of garbage, was it Sharknado and all those stupid Sharknado movies?
Yeah.
We were forming the theory that on my old show, with Flash and I, that dolphins were up to something, and they were framing the sharks for it. And now I think the alligators are probably in on something, and maybe even crocs. They're up to something. Mark my words.
I forget what they're called in Mexico, but I see them there all the time when I'm down there. The Karen or something like that. And I don't know if they're in the alligator family or the crocodile family, but they're scary when you see them on the golf course or you see them near the resort. You're like, wow, they're really scary. And
Well,
they're
they just
big.
had a video clip that was out that someone unfortunately got killed by an alligator or crocodile in Mexico, and they had, he was going under a bridge. The alligator was dragging the body. People had it on video. So very sad. Yep. But yeah, wouldn't want to get in the water with one of those.
I saw a video where they're like a really kind of a good looking lady messing around with feeding this big ass alligator and playing around with it like it was a dog, and it was acting like a dog, but it was being all nice to her. She was messing with it and talking to it like a dog. I'm like, are you freaking crazy?
Yeah. Wow.
Something's wrong. I'm telling you, something's going wrong with the alligators and the idiots who are being controlled. I think they're aliens. Aliens are probably taking over alligators, and they're controlling some dumb people. Some dumb people are hanging around too close to damn alligators.
Yeah. Well, I agree with Lenrod. Darwin Award.
Big time. I mean, this lady, she was like, I'm telling you, she was treated like a puppy, and it was or like her doggy, and then she was feeding it, and I'm like, I don't understand this. This is not special effects. This is not made up. This is really happening. I never thought you could mess with an alligator. Usually, if you leave them alone, maybe, but still, they could come after you. They used to crawl up, and when my mom and dad lived near into New Orleans, they would. One night they had like this Christmas party, and everybody was at their next door neighbor's house, and all these cars. No one's going back to get in their cars, and someone goes to get in their car. There's an alligator up under it, and they just barely. Like yeah.
That's not a good yeah.
No.
A good night. Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, that's not how you want to end your evening, right?
But people are messing with alligators. Something's wrong, folks. I don't know.
Well, the Gorn are pissed off what they did to them on S.
That Hadron Collider may have just messed
So
us all up.
the alligators are relatives of the Gorn, I guess, right? Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Could be.
Dad, man. Go Gators!
Gators.
Go Gators, yeah.
I know some Gator haters, dude. Go Tigers. And, of course, Keely would say roll Tide and beat both of our teams.
Well, speaking of Gators, is everyone aware that Dadman, Walking 55, has started his own YouTube channel, and apparently he's going to be doing some sportsing.
Sports ball.
Now, I don't know anything about sportsing or sportsing ball, but I do know that Dadman is a heck of a nice person, and he's great company. And so, if you like the pigskin sportsing sports ball thing, Dadman Walking 55 is the fella you ought to follow.
Please, everyone, go to Dadman's channel, subscribe. He's trying to build up his new channel. He's going to be talking some, I mean, even if you're not into that stuff, please go subscribe because he's our friend and we want him to have subs.
Yeah.
But if you are into college football and I guess some other stuff, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do, but
and Rod, yay, sports ball.
I miss sports ball. I was such a freak for it for 50 years for the NFL, and I've lost it, and it still hurts. Although now when I watch it, when I flip on there sometimes, I see it, I'm like, wow, this game has been ruined. Anyway, it's like modern comics. I'm not even kidding. Now when I look at an NFL game, I still feel it because I miss it so much. Missing being able to do that every week for like that half a year. Just it was always my favorite time of year. Right now, what is this? End of August. Next week, the new season starts. Man, I could not wait. I watched the damn preseason games. I was such a hardcore up until 2020. And for 50 years, I could not wait. I was always in a good mood, even if our team was, after a while, we started sucking. It kind of pissed me off. But I loved it so much. I loved everything about it. I watched everything I could, even games that didn't even have anything to do with my team. And now it hurts to lose that. Why am I sharing you with that? Why am I plaguing you?
My son just went to a preseason Giants game.
This is the Clubhouse.
Thank you. What?
But my son just went to a preseason Giants game. They had tickets, second row end zone for $50 each.
For a preseason game?
Preseason, $50. Yep.
Are you shitting me?
Well, they sold his friend. They had season tickets. God. They sold them for $20.
Hey, preseason football is the biggest sham.
Oh, it is
all of sports.
He went with his college buddies and they hung out and had it. They just had a good time.
Now look at what you did, Dad Man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Dad Man.
Raquel, can we make Raquel, we can make sports a geek and nerdy by overdosing on the stats. I love that. Larry says, hello, Raquel. You are an inspiration. Larry, I think you are such a sweet and kind person, and I love your company.
Yes, she is.
You're such a great guy that some folks say your name twice. I say it thrice. Larry. I love you.
Yes,
and Dadman says, thank you for all of your extremely kind words and your support. And Lenrod is chiming in with the captain saying, too many rules in the games these days. We need to get back to choke slamming a quarterback.
Yes, violence like the game used to be. Now you can't hurt a quarterback's feelings.
No, you can't. No.
Thank you, everyone. Great conversation. Keep those comments coming. We love you.
That's why, Linrod, I watch all those NFL films. I mean, I'll sit there and just gorge out on them in the middle of the night, just watch all those old NFL film shows on YouTube because I miss those so much from the 70s and 80s. Hey, that's real football. Anyway, but let's get back to keep this. Although, people do nerd out over sports sometimes. I mean, some people are into that sort of thing, but
I'm tired.
Good night.
Bye. Good night, Pleasant Belly Picker. Good
bye.
night, BC. I'm tired.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Well.
Good night. Yep.
Bye.
Well, bye. Yeah.
You know what? I know what that means only because my husband and Clobby make that joke all the time. Well, bye.
And they've memed it,
Yep.
Well, bye. Powers Booth. Bless his soul. What a great actor. Well, Dad, man, I'll get together and talk football with you one of these days, dude, but I don't know anything about college football. I watch some of it, but now I don't have any TV to watch anything. But actually, I can watch some of it on the garbage antenna. So, what else we got going on, folks? And we're going to start wrapping it up, I guess.
What about pickleball, Clobby?
I'm ready to go and crush a bag of old Dutch
let's go get
chips
something to
with
eat.
an entire container of hell of a good dip. It's good stuff. And you know what? I got when we did that little road trip almost to the other province, I was able to secure the Dr. Pepper cream soda.
Mm.
No, how was
I'm going
that?
to pour that over so many ice cubes in a pint glass, and I'm going to power slam it.
Nice. Dr.
It's 7 million degrees in my office right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get you out of here. So we'll do
But
all
see,
the.
Lenron agrees with me. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport
What?
in America, and my missus is
Pickleball
totally
is
addicted to
surprisingly fun.
pickleball.
What
Playing.
in the holy hell is pickleball?
We need to
Pickleball
get you a new
sounds
sport.
very, very,
Is it
You
a
need to get you a
very.
new
That
sport.
doesn't sound good when a man
Oh, it
says
does.
pickleball.
Yeah, you throw pickles or something?
No, it's like it's a offshoot of tennis, and they use like a plastic ball, kind of like a wiffle ball. There's a combination of tennis and ping pong. It's getting super popular now. It's just it's everywhere now. So, and the missus
Don't
is
share your
addicted to it.
pickles, folks. Keep your
Yeah,
pickles
there's no pickles
to
in
yourselves.
pickleball.
Okay, no
The
pickles.
story
By the way,
was the guy created the game, and he let his kids name it. It's named after their dog was called Pickle.
okay.
So the name is called pickleball. But it's
Wow.
yeah. So it is surprisingly fun to watch.
Is it like
right, Lenron?
lacrosse? I don't know.
No, it's like more like it's like tennis, more like tennis. Yeah.
Okay.
But-
Larry, you were referring to the great voice of all the voice, as they called him, the great John Fresenda. And even I can't. I've always tried to emulate him. The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. I can't do it. I'm insulting him. I can try to do Howard Cosell, but no one can reach the incomparable John Fresenda, who has the greatest voice of all of sports history. Well, NFL for sure. Anyway, so
I love that Larry knows this stuff that you know, like this super obscure stuff.
you know something. There's one of the. I could find somebody if I dig deep enough. I could find somebody, for example, that I want to talk Star Trek on a level that I talk it on. Of course, that's you, number one, and Mark, and there's some of our wonderful friends here, right? Comics, no problem. There's Minimus there. There's many of my other great friends I could talk to, and some around here as well that I can talk about comics on that level the way that I like to. When it comes to the NFL, the NFL history, because I hate the NFL, it's real tough to find anybody that can talk to it. Again, I know it sounds snobby. I don't mean for it to. That could talk about it on the level that I love the NFL history. About a year or so ago, I got Loki, Lord Thoth. You were here, Mark.
I was there for that. Yep.
And who else was here?
What we do? Quarterbacks. The
Nick.
top quarterback for
And
each
Nick.
team.
Yeah, we just talked. No, we talked. Yeah, it was something like quarterbacks. It was something to do with the top.
Or running backs, or it was
It
quarterbacks.
was
I think.
quarterbacks. Or
Quarterbacks.
something
Yeah.
like it was the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks for each team. Anyway, that was the lowest. Nobody watched it. It was like a Wednesday night. I mean, it was nobody.
yeah?
No one gave a crap. No one.
But did you have fun?
I had so much fun doing that.
Yeah.
But people rightly they come here for geekness. So a lot of friends are like, well, they like the show, but they're just not into football.
Sports.
Yeah,
But some geeks do like sports.
Some geeks do, but not
They do.
not all.
But
Yeah.
and it's even worse for nerds because nerds, it's all
Nerds only like
academics for
baseball.
nerds. So it's worse, but nerds do like baseball.
Actually, there are a lot of nerds who nerd out over football history too, but baseball history or football history. But yeah, I love NFL history though. I mean, that's in other words, it's just NFL films are the most beautiful things ever made. Just with that music and that slow mo and this old when football was played by men who could beat the living. Yes, it's savage. They beat the crap out of each other.
Bread and circuses.
So it was.
I think the most cited when you look at the doctoral research and those who have done their PhD research on diction used by nerds, it's like they have centrifugal diction. I think actually the most named sport by people who are nerds is chess.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
You
Yeah,
sure
I
it's
can
not Magic
understand
the Gathering?
that. Not nerd.
No.
That's geeks. That would be
That's
geeks.
geeks.
All right.
That's not a sport anyway. Are you saying
Chess is
Magic
not
the
a
Gathering? That's
sport.
not a Well, no, I'm saying Magic the Gathering's not a sport for sure. I mean, if chess,
Chess
wants to
isn't
be a sport,
either.
But Magnus Carlsen is the coolest person. Like, I have a Magnus Carlsen T-shirt, and when I wear it, no one has any idea who he is.
Is he the guy from the X-Men?
No, he's a world chess champion.
Steve, hey, Cal, you're not alone. Most geeks, well, not most. I tell you, of all my geek friends, I don't know. I have like one or two that really are into football. But I got, and then there's my nephews who they're not geeks, but they're into football big time. So, but yeah, so no, you look. I don't know many geeks that are, but look, Brian is said he was a fan of the Raiders before they left the first time. That was way back, man. Yeah, they've been. It's a disgrace that there should never be anything called the Las Vegas Raiders. They're Oakland. It's bad enough when they were Los Angeles. That's
people in California
terrible.
don't even care about football for the most part. I mean, in LA area, I should say. It's they keep trying to
Dadman just said something totally cool. I have to interrupt because I'm sorry. Because Dadman just said something totally cool. You guys, look at this. I would love to have Clobby and Mark to talk about favorite announcers. So that'd be really cool because that's pop culture. That's a way of bringing the jocks together with the geeks.
Yeah.
Instead of having your jockocracy, you could have your geekdom in there.
And that's a Howard Cosell.
I know. I had to watch his movie because of who I'm married to.
Yeah,
I like that movie. I'd seen that movie in a while. I thought that
was a
pretty,
good movie.
Decent, yeah. With John Turturro as Howick goes. So that was a strange casting there. Better than John Voight though. John Voight played him in that stupid Will Smith Muhammad Ali movie or whatever.
Vin Scully just passed away.
That's right. Yes, Vin Scully.
Yep.
Claude says he's walking up and down 106th Street in Edmonton right now on Google Maps. There's a gigantic cemetery up there. Geez, don't you people cremate?
They got plenty of land up there, Claude.
Dude, you're in the wrong area. Do me a favor, Claude. Go to White Avenue, but when it's White, the surname, so it's Y, not I. Go to White Avenue.
Basketball, baseball, football, wrestling are my 80s sports guilty pleasure. Well, there you go, Oliver. So you like most of their man. YouTube has a lot of great NFL film stuff. NFL films is just some of my comfort zone, my joy, one of my places of joy. I remember seeing. Wow, you saw Don Meredith play Jim Brown at Bart's. I mean, you've seen them play like in person.
That's
you
awesome.
Can't be that old, Larry. Maybe it means on TV. Because man, even I'm not old enough to have seen those guys even watching them on TV.
I think Larry is.
Dude, Larry, that's fantastic though. Dandy Don and Jim Brown and Bart Starr, that's fantastic, dude. I love those guys.
Yep.
I mean,
I love about Larry. He has the heart of a 20-year-old, and you would think he's very young, and then he starts to talk, and then you're like, you know your stuff.
Yeah.
You've been around a long time. Dadman Walking, I don't really like the feeling of being on like panels. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it because I just I was a professional broadcaster. I was on the radio and stuff. And I just, when people want to get famous and stuff, I think sometimes they treat one another sort of weird on YouTube. And I'm also an introvert, so I'm not so good at it. I will go on with Doomcock because DC's a friend of mine and I care about him and I like him. But I basically like to just stick with Mark and Clobby. But thank you for the invitation, and you already know I will definitely promote your show as much as I can because I love the Dadman clan. I love your whole family. I think you're just beautiful people. You're so kind and fun-loving and cool to be around, and you make me laugh, and you eat unicorn ice cream and post your food, and you're a beautiful family, and I love who you are as a dad. And I love who your wife is as a mom. You two are just amazing parents and truly beautiful people. But I just, I made the mistake of going on with people on different panels, and it doesn't feel right for me. But I have to tell you that if I were going to appear with anyone, it would definitely be with you and your beautiful family. And I will do everything I can to promote your channel because you are my friends, my true friends. So I hope you don't take any offense.
Oh, no. Besides, you don't want to be with us talking football anyway. It's not your bag.
No,
why would you?
No.
What's wrong with you, Dad, man?
But I do love you, Dad, man. And you're the best.
I forgot about that, Larry. Yes. Wow. I bought
That's
FF
incredible.
#1. Off the drugstore spinner rack in 1961. Okay, well then you did see Dandy Don. You probably saw Johnny U and Bart Starr and Jim Brown, dude.
Yep.
Wow.
Did you buy 20 copies?
Envious. Yeah, he
Where
bought
are
20
they?
copies of #1.
And you slabbed them back in 61. Yeah,
They've been like that cost about $2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
mean,
well.
Larry, heart of a 20-year-old. Like he's gonna
Deedishness.
live until he's 375. He's gonna live longer than Methuselah,
Of course.
because his heart, he's got the heart of a lion. He's still 20 years old in his mind and just knows all this stuff. So he's a real treat
All
to
right.
have in the chat. Love you, Larry.
Let's get out of here. So
Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go crush some chips.
yeah, we'll do our we'll shout out everybody Saturday night. But what we'll do is a little quick show notes. Any show notes? Number one.
No, boss. I think I'm okay. If you haven't heard yet, folks, I finished the final story in my science fiction collection. I'm ready to go to press. I'm working with, very graciously, Hungry Boy offered to do my book cover, so the dust jacket for my hardback and the cover for my paperback. So I'm waiting on that art. He actually did a full painting, so I'm thrilled. I'm super excited by that. My stuff has gone out for edit. So far, I'm the only one who's basically been editing my stuff because, I'm indie. I don't have a publishing house. And so it's going up for a proper edit, and we're going to start moving it forward into physical copies, physical signed copies. So super, super de-duper exciting. And the last story, I don't think I'm going to be selling it individually. I think the only way you'll be able to read it is if you buy the physical copy, the whole collection, either in hardback or paperback, because I want to make something neat about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, if you have the book, then you have the final story. But I will tell you that the final story, the character's name is Tallulah, and it's an Irish name. And and that is the final person in the whole collection, the whole science fiction collection. So thank you for your support in purchasing those stories. You can buy those stories and give them to people too. And I sure could use support like that. And I just love your reviews, because the more reviews I get, especially positive ones, the more people want to read it. And there's not much of an audience for episodic science fiction. So I love you all so much for supporting me. Thank you very much. And I just want to say thank you to all the wrenches who were here tonight. I want to thank each and every person who was in the chat, who offered their beautiful comments and wonderful conversation. You are such a wonderful, wonderful crew to hang out with. Thank you for being a part of Clobby'S Clubhouse. I want to encourage you all to follow my friend Mark D with a C. He has a marvelous YouTube channel. He's a maker. He's a geek. He's got a little bit of nerd in him. He also used to hang with the jocks. So it's a real mixed bag, a real variety show. Lots of fun. You got to check it out. And last but certainly not least, I have to thank my wonderful captain and one of my best friends in my whole life, Clobby, Mike Alonso. This place, this space, all of these friendships would never have happened without you. We all love you so much. Thank you for creating this space, for being so good to us, so smart, so fun, and just a cool cat to hang around with. I love you. And that's it.
Wow. Where were we?
Thank you, Raquel.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here. Yep.
Okay. No, I was having some issues. Mark, you finally got rid of your. There you are. I got you.
The Florida man.
Discombobulated.
All good. Yep.
Yeah.
So
anything, Mark?
Yeah. Well, I got Sunday Night Geekery, of course, and that's the big issue number 50. So looking forward to that on Sunday night. And Saturday night, I may or may not be there. I might be away on an away mission for one of my son's colleges. So we'll see what happens. But I probably can't join the stream. But if I can, I'll be in the chat. Yep.
Oh, in that case, all I'm going to tell you is...
Your agonizer, please.
There we go. You got it to work. All right. Looking good. Yep. So Mr. Spock is gonna take gonna agonize me right now. But no, looking forward to hanging out with everyone Saturday night a little bit. Hopefully in the chat we'll see what happens. But maybe some videos dropping during the week. But I got to scan the PDF for Raquel. I'll get you that. I'll try to make it darker for you too, and then eventually, hopefully, get you that book next week. I've
Yay!
been so
I'm
busy.
super excited.
The book and everything else. Yep. So
Well, thank you for that. And I just want to answer a quick question. Stephen M said, Raquel, is the book as a whole collection, is it going to be available digitally as well for single purchase? That's a great question. And the answer is yes. I know that a lot of people have difficulty with attention, and a lot of people have are visually impaired, and there's lots of stuff going on that prevents people from being able to read books. So, and they want to be able to travel with it, and of course use their computer to have the story read to them. So I will absolutely make sure that there is a full ebook available for purchase. And that was an amazing question. Thank you, Stephen M.
Deedishness. Well, okay, show notes. Let's see. Saturday night Star Trek.
Dun, 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 dun.
Deep Space Nine Season 2 begins. Same Trek time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Same Clobby channel. And
Awesome.
Can't wait. I hope everyone will show up and we'll have a good time. Then a special presentation of Clobberin Times, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday afternoon, the 28th, which would have been the 105th birthday of the King of Comics, the great Jack Kirby. The lovely Purple Balcony will join me, and we will talk, just basically calling it Kirby 105. We'll talk about just his creations, his characters, concepts, just a basic, remembrance of the man, and a tribute to the great creator that he is. So, and looking forward to that. And then it'll be some, as Mark mentioned, some Sunday night geekery there, and who knows, it'll be definitely a Kirby show on Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. I don't know what yet, but I'll get that put together. Sapa. So.
And always remember, folks, too, right, that it's not ever a one-sided thing with Clobby. You know, you should know that about him. I want you all to know that when he's doing these Jack Kirby shows, one of the best things that you can do to come at him in these environments is come up with your own questions and things you want to know about Kirby, or things that you think are important about Kirby. I want you to remember that when you're hanging out with Clobby, it is a two-way dialogue. This is a pure celebration for him, and this is practically like the apex of his knowledge. So soak it up. Have a great time, show up, have great questions, tough questions, maybe stuff that you can't find out about and you think he may know. Do all that stuff, because, you know, he's a great conversationalist. He's wonderful to hang out with. I encourage you to get your bums in the seats for Jack Kirby Month.
Indeedishness, thank you all so much. Thank you to the mods, the great Eric K., the great Chris Persia, and Cal L., and Phantom and everybody else who is a mod. And we'll do all the proper shout outs on Saturday night. But thanks to everyone who's joined up as a member as well. Thank you for Cardinalson and PJ with Oriole Nation for your kind donations, and anyone else who, I don't think those are the only ones, I'm not sure, but anyone else who did. Just thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. And just for that, you've all earned a non-agonizer. Who will we use it on? Here we go.
Your agonizer, please.
No, Mr. Spock!
ouch.
Ouch.
Is that worse than a shin kick?
That is worse than a shin kick. Claude is still on Google Maps looking, and now he's at Filthy's. Filthy McNasty's is a bar, and it's a punk bar. Claude's at Filthy McNasty's on Google in Edmonton. That's a punk bar. Filthy McNasty's.
Who let him into Canada?
I think he deserves an agonizer for that.
Agonizer, please.
That's going to get played a lot, I predict.
I only just did it now because I forgot all about it till we were about to leave. I'd have been doing it 20 times tonight, but I freaking forgot. My goddamn memory makes me sick. Anyway.
I didn't want to remind you.
Oh, well, I wish you would have. Anyway.
And what about the other one? Did you get the other one to go or no? We'll do it after the show.
I did that one.
No, the
Oh no,
the,
no,
the,
oh
the
no,
thing one.
No, I didn't.
That's okay.
Damn
Yeah.
it. I forgot all about it again. Forgot it completely. I think I may have downloaded it, but all right. Thank you everyone for being here with us tonight. Appreciate you. Cannot wait to see us Saturday day night. Whoops, let me go. Knock this stupid bot out of there. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend.
Take care.
Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Your agonizer, please.
No, Mr. Spock!